It says we're live. We're live. It says so. The only way I know we're live is because it says so. We're live. We're with Archival Raccoon and Bobo. What's up? There's some others here, I think. They're just, they haven't been compelled to reveal themselves yet. They will come out of the shadows.
Like everything else that's horrible in the news that's suddenly becoming revealed.
Yeah, I can't like say shadows. I have to say it like Alan Cumming now.
Like Alan Cumming.
Shadows. Yeah. Out of the shadows.
I know.
It's like the dollars.
It's really great to watch like a, cheesy reality TV competition show and have the host like actually be super into it. Like, I think he really, really enjoys his role.
He loves it. He's
great.
Like, I mean, I'm sure that there's more than I'm sure it's still work. I'm sure like at times he's just like, I'd rather not be here, or do we have to do it again, or whatever. Anyway, I love him. He's really great. He's super funny. We didn't get to our Nick Reiner coverage. We've obviously coverage. What have I become? What am I? Coverage. We haven't gotten to our our talk about that.
We hadn't talked about it, yeah.
But some new developments today. Is it true?
Yeah, well, it was yesterday. And then I saw, I was watching some people do a little bit of analysis on Court TV about it. So I'll just share with you what these smarter than me people said.
Yeah, great. Well, yeah, we're just, yeah, that's cool. He pleaded not guilty, and he forewent his right to a speedy trial.
Yeah, well, that's not exactly true.
Well, I take it back.
Okay, so this hearing was they always have like, I'm just learning because I don't know anything about court procedure, but they have a hearing that sets the stage for the next hearing. And so he was the
pre-hearing.
Yeah, the judge.
It's like Hollywood meetings about meetings.
Yeah, right.
That literally, remember, like in the testimony, they all showed up outside of her trailer to meet about a meeting. Mm-hmm. To meet about a future meeting.
Yeah, right. Well, in case she wanted to do it right then, they all wanted to attend. So it's like a big runaround.
I would have an asthma attack if I got back to that.
So Nick Reiner was in court yesterday with his new attorney, who the analysts on Court TV said was known as being very competent, and he's very well represented. So that's good for him, I guess.
Yeah.
They said that the hearing was that the judge said that the next hearing, it was like mandated by law that it needed to be within 10 days. And for some reason, they asked him whether he's okay to waive that, and he was. So I'm not sure. It doesn't mean that he's waived his right to a speedy trial. He has simply, in that hearing, waived his right to a speedy next hearing. But I think both sides probably want
that
this.
deadline, I think, is a part of the speedy trial deadline. But maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's all.
I'm sure it's in that same in that section of the law book, like that's probably where it shows up.
Yeah, it's probably like he's waiving. He probably we or those in California have rights, to specific deadlines because they're being held. And if you're pleading not guilty, regardless of the evidence, you're still being held. And if you're being held without bail, then an expedited trial for somebody innocent would probably be a welcome thing if they had, exculpatory evidence, to back their claims.
Another thing that they said that I thought was really interesting was they were talking about how California has this. I was really surprised that it actually has this name, but it's something like the Slayer provision or something. Slayer. Where if you...
God, that's horrible.
I know. Where if somebody who is supposed to be a benefactor of an estate, if they actually have a hand in killing the estate holder, then they do not benefit. By the California law, then they will not benefit from the estate. And so it's likely that was the thing.
Jackson got... He was like,
yeah, likely it was that was the reason why he couldn't afford an attorney.
They're like, what's the law? He's like, what's the law? Oh, shit, this kid is broke? I'm not broke. That's not what I do.
I know. It's just like, so I don't know whether that was a motive for his killing, but if it was, then how dumb must he feel? I mean, of course, like, he should have known he wasn't going to get away with it. But anyway, I don't know what he's pleading not guilty, but certainly
has pleaded, yeah.
Yeah, so certainly they don't think that he's going to plead not guilty as if he didn't do it. They're going to plead not guilty by reason of insanity. And he did look really, he did like, he had the visage of somebody who was mentally unwell in the
Yeah, I mean,
courtroom.
I think all murderers are mentally unwell. The question is whether or not what whether or not, what he did was the result of, this medication issue.
This is going to be
whether or
what
not
the
he
trial's
was,
about.
or whether or not he was partaking in,
Yeah.
regular recreational drugs. And if he was, what culpability is that? I mean, if he's,
I think the prosecution has a home run set out right before them, because there's just there's no way that there's too many things that he did that would negate any insanity defense.
and he could have suffered such extreme post-traumatic syndrome from this,
Post-traumatic stress disorder?
post-traumatic stress from this issue, that he could be, very much in his, very much a part of what we're seeing in that courtroom, and in that expression and so on and so forth,
Yeah.
is
Right.
is potentially a result of what he did. I mean, he just saw.
I'm sure that people who are imprisoned for violent crimes do carry about them of the the look of mentally unwell, because I'm sure you can't be mentally healthy in this, in the jail system.
And he has never seen what he is witnessing now in the system
Oh yeah, of course.
that he has lived in.
He's been so sheltered his whole
Yeah,
life.
and he's been going to the really expensive
Although he
rehabs.
he was in rehab, so I don't know what he did see.
Right, that was the worst of it.
Yeah, but they're not like what he's dealing with now.
That was the
in
worst of
county. I did just remember the reason for the delay until his next hearing.
Yeah.
The coroner's office has just released, or is about to release imminently, I can't remember, the autopsy information.
Oh.
And so the attorneys wanted time to look all that over and prepare. And so that's why. That it apparently hasn't been released yet, which I thought was strange.
Yeah. Splishness, who was with us, said, I actually knew about the Slayer law because of Knives Out. I didn't recognize it.
Because of who?
Knives Out?
Oh,
The movie?
because was that supposed to take place in California? Probably, because it's a bunch of rich people.
Why is that where all the rich people are? Because I'd say Connecticut would, fucking turn their heads a little to that.
Connecticut has
Maybe
a
New
bunch of
York
rich
City.
people.
Huh?
I don't know. I actually don't know where all the rich people live, because I've never been a rich person.
Where do all the rich people live?
They didn't go to my school.
In big houses, gates, and all that kind of stuff,
Okay.
Before we get into anything further, I want to just
Well,
say...
I just didn't know whether there was anything else to say about this one.
Okay.
Do you want to move on? Because we can. Doesn't matter.
Well, look, Nick Reiner is going to spend the rest of his life in some kind of institution of some kind to protect
yes.
him from his siblings and everybody else.
Of course, yeah.
So he's not going anywhere.
He's never going to see freedom again, that's for sure.
He'll never
One
see it
thing
again.
that they were talking about on the court TV is that they were actually very surprised that the death penalty is still on the table by the prosecution, because first of all, like, California does not do death penalty typically. I think it's been like decades since the last death penalty case. And also because he was such a high profile figure in blue side of the politics, and they
Yeah.
are very much like not, none of those people have boners for a death penalty. So it would just be really strange for them to not think that there's going to be a lot of backlash, blowback, pushback, whatever, from trying to find this kid, culpable to the death penalty or whatever. Sorry, my
The
brain's
last
kind of mush.
execution in California took place on the day after my birthday, 2006.
Yes, I know, but I know that the last death penalty prosecution was 2009.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a really long time ago, and it's just very strange.
It's clear what it's on the table for. They're
They're trying to get him to plead.
Yeah, they want to plead.
I know, and I don't know why that's not happening, but maybe it will.
Yeah,
Anyway,
well, probably
that's
because
kinda
they're trying to
the
get him. They're trying to get him out of. Look, the whole plea deal is going to surround him being housed in a facility where he is not going to be living a threatened life. That's or in total solitude, because the solitude will only exacerbate his mental condition. So he can't. He's a snowflake, right? He's a snowflake murderer, and he needs a special institution. It's the same thing if they convict Andrew and he gets thrown away for life. They'll probably be like, all right, give him the one with the table. Give him the fucking cell with the table, Like he's going to get some kind of, something that, won't be like riotous or cause, riotous feelings amongst the peasants.
Speaking of the cell with the table, have
Yeah.
you heard this conspiracy theory that they think that that Ghislaine Maxwell has a body double serving her time? Have you seen this?
This would make sense to me.
Apparently, somebody said that they saw the picture of Ghislaine Maxwell in a hearing, right?
Yeah.
Where she's on video conference, okay? Because she's on video from prison.
Yeah.
Well, they said that it doesn't fucking look like her. They said it sounds like her, but it doesn't look like her at all. And people who are like, I have known this person, or like reporters who are like, I have followed this case for decades. They're like, that is not her. They say that she has like a lookalike who's been like styled like her. Like it looks like a fucking wig.
She knows everything.
I know, but can you imagine if they disappeared her and put another like false Maxwell in her place? Oh my God, I wouldn't even be surprised at this point because everything is so fucking weird. Anyway, that's a conspiracy theory, and it might actually be a conspiracy truth. Who knows?
By the way, for the Patreon folks, I did the first writing session today. It was only an hour and a half because my day is, and as I explained in the video, the next month is going to be pretty hairy. We have another project going on.
Did you have fun?
I did, man. I did. A whole new scene at the beginning, a prologue. And then I also did some really nice improvement work.
I am as your editor, I was so pleased to hear that you chose very, very cleverly to input a new scene as a prologue, as opposed to changing anything about your opening. I thought that you crafted such a great opening, and I thought that I helped you refine the like pacing of it that I thought was, and I was really worried that you were going to add a new scene, the scene that I love, by the way, that you had decided to take out pretty early on.
Yeah, I actually was.
I wanted you to put it back in, but I didn't know how it was going to work, and it's so smart that you decided to do it as a prologue.
I was just sitting here working on it today, and then I was like, "These are, if you guys watch it, it's an hour and a half video. You don't have to watch it. It's just for the, it's extra content, but it's ultimately going to end up being the read by the author audio version of the book rather than it calling it an audiobook, because we have higher dreams for audiobook for this thing. But in the interim, I want to do a reading of the book because there are just people out there who just prefer to listen to it. And the more, any way I can get people to read this book, the better, right? So
definitely. So
I want to get it read, and I'm using that, as I said earlier, I'm using that opportunity to do the second edition. And I was just sitting here, and this is like the thing I love about writing, man. I was just sitting here, and I was about to move on to. I did the opening scene with Goldblum, and I was about to go into the immigration scene, the following scene, and I was just like, oh, you know what I want to do? I want to mess with this, and I went and I scooped it out of Google Docs. The old scene.
It was so Canadian you said that. And I went and I scooped it out.
I scooped it out of there, and I pasted it in the top. I had to do some formatting because it was like it didn't paste real well. And then I just I refined it. That scene was tight.
I loved it.
That scene was just written tight.
And I will love it again.
Yeah. So anyway, and I also did some work on the preface, and so preface, prologue, and first scene was a wrap today in only an hour and a half. So I do suspect that this project will take a couple of months, 3 months, whatever it might take. But it should be a pretty quick ride, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think it's gonna get a lot more fun. I already warned everybody how emotional I'm gonna obviously get at times because I told I might just walk off in the middle of a fucking scene and not come back. Did
that happen today?
Well, not today. Today I'm dealing with like the PG stuff of the. Anyway,
that's fun.
Check it out if you guys are a member of the Patreon. It is available now. That is posted, so you can watch it if you want to. And if you don't want to, I completely understand.
Okay, I brought a few things today to share with you.
Yeah.
This is how Dale and I talk to each other now. We just if I find something interesting that's going on in the world, I save it for the live.
Or you'll start talking, and then you'll be like, I'll just save it for the live. Like I'll start like reacting. You'll be like, you know what? Just save it for the live.
That's true.
Our lives revolve around our lives.
Well, because sometimes you have really, really funny reactions, and I just want to harness those, share it with the world. Just
in case it comes. You don't want to yeah. I know, because I'm not very good at repeating my jokes. Like I also write little jingles that sometimes like like 1 in 100 of my jingles are like, damn, I should record that.
And you never do.
And I never do.
So stupid.
And like some of them are like really good. They're
You're like
either
surrounded by
really
recording
funny.
of devices and you never.
Yeah, I'm walking around. I got fucking recording devices everywhere. I got a guitar. I could have sat down here, turned this on, recorded it in a minute. And instead I just went about my merry way. And then the fucking jingle is gone. It was a damn good jingle the other day I got too.
Yeah.
All right, anyway.
Did you
enough
bring
about that.
items for me? Or are you too busy today?
I may have a few. Let me look. What else you got? You got any more?
Oh, I have so many. I have several for you.
You have so many?
I was feeling like a little like frazzled today, and I think that I'm being subjected to the astrology transits because I was like,
Oh.
I was like definitely like in a frazzle. Like I couldn't really think straight. Like I had it was like one of those like fleeting thoughts, zooming into your brain all day type of vibes. And I also felt very anxious, and so I kept collecting stories that made me more increasingly anxious.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of
That's
them.
easy. That's
easy these days.
big hair in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That shit is prolific.
So what'd you find?
Why don't you go first?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is a few days old. This happened over the weekend. That
Oh,
there
my.
was a physicist an astrophysicist who was killed it was apparently like a drive-by shooting on his front porch, but he lives in a rural community of Llano, California, where that sort of thing just simply doesn't happen.
A drive-by shooting
Yes. it
in
was
an
a drive-by
affluent
shooting.
community filled with astrophysicists.
He said it says
people.
rural community, but if you look at his, he's like a renowned astrophysicist, so you imagine he lives in a nice place. Anyway, so
Probably.
here's the scoop.
Probably has his own laundry and everything.
His name is Carl Grillmayer, 67 years old, renowned astrophysicist. He helped detect water on a planet outside our solar system. He spent decades advancing our understanding of the galaxy. He was fatally shot outside his home in Llano, California earlier this week. Authorities responded to calls of an assault with a deadly weapon early Monday and found him with a gunshot wound on his porch. He was pronounced dead at the scene. They've arrested a suspect who was linked to a nearby carjacking, but it's unclear what the motive was or if the two men knew each other. Anyway, colleagues remember Grillmayer as a brilliant and influential scientist whose work helped shape modern astronomy. He's a Caltech astrophysicist and a NASA principal investigator on the Hubble and Spitzer space telescopes. He was, at the time of his death, Carl Grillmayer was researching comets and asteroids hazardous to Earth. This guy says, as a reminder, this happened the same day that Trump ordered the Pentagon to release all government files on alien and extraterrestrial life.
Oh, boy.
So here's more about what he did.
Holy shit.
Carl Grillmayer was a key figure in the use of the Spitzer Space Telescope to study the atmospheres of planets outside our solar system. He was part of the team that successfully identified water vapor signatures on exoplanets. His work helped pioneer the secondary eclipse, which is in quotes, the secondary eclipse method, where astronomers measure the dip in infrared light as a planet passes behind its star. This allowed scientists to begin mapping the temperature and chemical composition of distant worlds, which is a fundamental prerequisite for determining if a planet could support life.
Damn.
And he was killed.
He probably
randomly.
has the absolute proof.
Maybe.
Why would they kill that though? Because because what Donald Trump is gonna release is a lie. Because everything's a lie. There's no truth anymore. I mean,
So, I mean, if
I'm trying to be truthful
he
about
could be
that.
like a lead researcher, but he's not the only researcher. So whatever he was discovering,
Right.
certainly somebody else knows
There's a
about
record.
it. But it's just real fishy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I understand that in this country, people like succumb to random acts of gun violence all the time, but it just seems a little fucking weird when it's these guys, you know?
Yeah.
Or like you hear about the stories about people who were like, oh, they just discovered a new method of harnessing energy that doesn't harm the environment whatsoever, and then all of a sudden they fall off a balcony from a tall building.
Yeah.
Like, no, they didn't. You
Yeah.
know? So that was one thing that I thought was very fucking weird, and the conspiracy theorists are conspiracy theorizing about it.
I wonder if people. You guys saw our live, right? We just don't have any. Are you guys there? Hello. The chat is really quiet, and we only have 11 people here, which I mean,
Maybe we're not talking about anything interesting.
glad to have 11 people. Really, they just don't want to.
Maybe it's an us problem and not a them problem.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I'll go there first for sure. Yeah. How do you feel about it? Hello?
That's strange. So I'm seeing it here, but it's not showing up the same way that it did. I'm seeing it, but it's not. Did you start a podcast today? Like, it says Dale Wheatley Did you change some settings?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why? What does it mean?
I don't know. It doesn't mean anything.
Well, I think the thing you might be recognizing there is that I created a podcast list like a few months ago.
Oh, maybe that's
whatever it is, and now everything got migrated to that list, so now people can listen on their, just listen.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well,
happiness in your life is here.
Yeah, it's nice.
She's
to see
happiness
you guys.
in your life.
That
She's
is
happiness in
interesting.
our lives.
I wonder whether you did something to sabotage our reach.
I don't know, like end super chats.
No, that was a good choice. I'm glad that you did that.
I know, but it might have fucked with the algorithm. They might be like, well, fuck you. You don't want to play. We don't want to play.
Okay, I have more. Do you have something?
No, keep
You didn't
going.
really say anything about that. I thought you were going to be like, oh my God, this is...
I mean, I don't know what to
crazy.
say except to say like theoretically speaking.
I was expecting one OMG and at least two like, oh.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Thanks. I guess you're expressing exactly why our numbers are so down.
Okay, let me
Listen, I'm just saying that I don't know how to react to that because I don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about a guy assassinated for something that he knows by the government. Who's assassinating this guy? Or was he assassinated and was it actually a drive-by? No, that doesn't make sense. Of course it's not a drive-by. But still, like, we have nothing.
He's getting closer to discovering life on other planets.
But I mean, fucking, I kill a guy for that because it's like nobody gives a shit already. We know that. Like, fucking both Donald Trump and Barack Obama basically confirmed that aliens are real. Nobody even cares. They're like, whatever. Did you hear what's happening in the Justin Baldoni trial? It's, we're a weird species where we just really are only quite focused on ourselves. Mm-hmm. That's why I think the religion is kind of pulled off what they kind of pulled off because God made man in his own image. Okay, yeah, I can relate.
No, I know. And people still like road rage over parking spots as if that fucking matters.
Right. Or fucking somebody who didn't make the left-hand turn in time or some stupid shit like that. Exactly. Right. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to make of a guy who gets fucking off. Because like when he knows about, he has to know something else. He has to know something else. He would have to know that something very specific in terms of propaganda that they're putting out is not true. That could include, by the way, something like telling a lie about extraterrestrials being here that aren't here or have been here and that were never here. For example, right? Like this person might know everything and then they might be coming out. They might be planning to say things like extraterrestrials are everywhere. I don't know. And then like create, some kind of hysteria because this guy does nothing but create chaos in the White House.
Suspiciously like something that an extraterrestrial would say.
Maybe. So, you know what I'm saying? So so is that what's going on? I don't fucking know. Or is it, more textbook X-Files and, he's got something he's got, maybe he's one of a handful of people. It's very possible. Maybe he's one of a handful of people, 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5, or whatever, who were all asked to sign on to a certain level of secrecy despite this disclosure. Because we do have a disclosure now. We have an executive order to disclose. And if there's an executive order to disclose, they might pull some people in and be like, okay, I know we said we're going to do that. And then, but they have legally
but he might be like,
the right
fuck
to
you.
disclose.
I'm gonna
so
disclose.
maybe his answer was ambiguous and he was like, well, we'll see how I feel about it. I don't know. We'll see what they release and then how I feel about it.
Do you remember how like the Boeing whistleblower got like offed in his car right before he was supposed to do a deposition?
Yeah.
And like nothing happened.
Nothing.
Absolutely no consequences for anybody.
No. The ones they want, the ones they want gone.
That's why the conspiracy theorists are like,
go quickly.
Anyway,
so yeah, I mean, my reaction to that, I mean, I'm stunned by it. I don't know how to react to it because it's like, well, because it could be so many reasons. There could be so many reasons why somebody at his level, it could be that, you know what? You know what? You know what? There's a belief in. There's a belief in multiverse, right? And
Multiverse.
yeah, multiverses, and so they're like mirror verses, universes of our own, where we're living multiple lives, deja vu, in these multiple universes, and there are different outcomes. Like, for example, there might be a world, a version of Earth where Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire did not interfere, where the movie did come out, where I did go down the path as a filmmaker, and I, got to live that reality. Might in terms of multiverse, this is a possibility. Maybe he discovered the multiverse. Maybe he knows that the multiverse is real. Now the multiverse would change everything, because that's just like, I mean, just think about that as like a mind fuck. Like, we'd all be sitting here going, what? To be like, yeah, if you jump off the bridge here, you probably didn't jump off the bridge there. I'm just saying.
It is super interesting how he said that he helped I guess refine the secondary eclipse theory. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Whatever, but yes, how to identify.
Where it was basically like, if you see a star and then you see what's a planet. I don't know what kind of technology they have to actually view these
it's
things.
shadows, basically.
But it basically, there's like a little dip
Yes.
where when it goes back behind the sun, it'll like do a little dip
in front of it, actually, when it comes around it.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
That's the eclipse part. Yeah, well, and then that, of course, leading to them being able to do things like crucially understand temperatures, and
it is pretty wild. Where like
science is like,
there's
wild.
no other part in human history where the person who knows the thing and the person like me who doesn't know anything there's like never been a wider gulf between those people.
What if this guy,
like, how do you even go through school in order to learn how to do that? Like, how do you start out as like a brand new like caterpillar like me and like go through regular schooling to get to that level of knowledge?
Yeah.
Nuts.
I don't know.
I have other items for you.
What if? Yeah, okay. Keep it going.
Candace Owens has exposed that she is part of a smear campaign. That she is the victim of a smear campaign.
No.
By Turning Point USA.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. How about that?
I know they're doing a smear campaign against her, but because it's Turning Point USA, it's like exactly the same kind of smear campaign that we've been following with the Justin Baldoni Blake Lively situation, except all of their smears are like Christian oriented. So they're so strange. They literally said, they were telling all these social media content creators to call Candace Owens evil and demonic. Like, that's the smear.
I mean, I don't know why that's a smear, because that's the fucking accurate thing to say. Listen,
but it turned out that there was like, here's a collection of 8 different blue check content creators saying, I'm convinced Candace Owens is a demon. Candace is a demon. I'm not so sure if Candace Owens is merely a demon. What Candace Owens is doing is the most wicked and satanic thing that's ever come from the online right. Just so you know, Candace Owens is pure evil. She's a demon straight from the bowels of hell. Candace Owens is a demon from the pit of hell. Candace Owens is a genuine demon. It goes on and on.
Wow.
So she, of course she recognized, like, wait a minute. This seems coordinated only from these like blue check accounts all saying the same thing. And here is the leaked Turning Point USA email that confirms it, laying out the smear campaign and even scripting talking points. You want to see this?
Yes.
Subject: urgent. Shut down Candace's latest smear. Action needed tonight.
I would have put this on the poster, by the way.
Huh?
If you'd have told me this one, I would have put it on the poster.
Oh yeah. Well, who gives a shit about these people?
Because it's relevant to the other one.
Yeah, this is true. Okay. This isn't journalism she's doing. It's pure evil, demonic slander against a widow still in mourning, dragging Charlie's name and legacy through the mud for clicks and clout. We've seen her pattern before, but this time it's personal, it's vicious, and it has to stop. Talking points. Use these verbatim or close variations. Candace Owens is evil, pure evil. This is demonic, straight up satanic level attack on a widow and her kids. These are all bullet points. Candace is a demon obsessed with destroying Charlie's family. How can any real Christian stay silent while she attacks Erica Kirk like this? She's not asking questions. She's conducting a witch hunt. Those are the talking points. Action items. Do this now before it trends further. Quote or reply to this to this key post exposing the trailer and call it out using the language above. And they retweeted this Twitter status retweet post with trailer video, high visibility, amplify the outrage there. Number 2, share and quote Graham Allen's strong stand. He's leading the charge. His video, and there's a link, declaring he's coming for everyone responsible. Boost this hard. Number 3, post your own version if you have reach. Tag big accounts like Cat Turd, Gunther Eagleman, Wells Jordan, Joel Berry, and use hashtag stand with Erica, hashtag Charlie Kirk legacy, hashtag stopped Candace. Last one. Fled the replies under any Candace defending or neutral posts with a demonic evil framing make it impossible to ignore. This coordinated push worked against her before. It can bury this trailer before episode 1 even drops. Don't let the discernment crowd, that's like used as like a slur. Don't let the discernment crowd.
So is woke.
Yeah.
Imagine woke being a slur. But here we are.
I love this. Don't let the discernment crowd spin this brave truth-telling. None of it is truth. Not what, calling her a demon? That is not truth. It's exploitation of tragedy. If you're in, hit reply with in and we'll loop you in with the next update. Then they sign off saying, for Charlie, for Erica, for the kids, for what's left of decency on our side. Stay strong.
Yeah, that whole fucking her crying at the State of the Union. I was, oh, so now you're crying. We saw the fucking video. You know, that is so staged. And this is all about them trying to manipulate the people who follow her and follow that turning point nonsense. But this is, of course, all, you know, for entertainment purposes. And I don't know anything. This is all, I'm just what do you call it? Spitballing here. I believe that is completely staged, that her crying was completely staged. At the State of the Union. I didn't watch the State of the Union. I could never. But that was an unavoidable clip in my feed. And you know, Donald Trump paying tribute to a person like Charlie Kirk, you know, is just goes to show you how fucking lost we are. I mean, we're lost. Charlie Kirk was despicable in every possible way.
You know what they should have done is they should have they should have put up a few of those like sparkler cannons at the State of the Union.
Yeah.
You know, some like pyrotechnics, maybe some like lasers or something, some like big music,
yeah, exactly.
like big like rising music. You know.
But the ones that they had at their halftime, their pre-recorded halftime show,
yes,
where it goes.
Where the pyrotechnics, you could like hear the mechanism.
You could hear it. Well, and it sounded like a fucking old Pinto. A Ford Pinto, for those who don't know, look it up. Funny car. I owned one.
You did?
It was my first car.
What color was it?
It had like wood panel.
Oh my God, no way.
It's kind of off-white with wood panel, but I paid $75 for it.
So they made a Ford Pinto with wood paneling?
Yeah, it was very rusty so I took a can of spray paint and I spray painted on the side of it Dale's car on both sides, which was actually a bad idea because I ended up abandoning it. And then
so they know who's
somebody was looking for who's Dale. His car needs to get out of here.
That's really funny. Anyway, I just thought that there's this smear campaign talking points were like exactly the same kind of talking points that we've been looking at from the Justin Baldoni smear campaign, but they were just like Christianized.
Super. You know? Yeah. I mean, it's super by design. I mean, they know exactly how to do this. They send out their bots and everybody else, and the bots are effective. This is why, like, when people say, like, Dale, stop arguing with the bots. No, you got to argue with the bots because the bots are creating the fucking,
Is that me you were
message.
Imitating? You were mocking?
Yes.
When you did that voice, that's
precisely.
what I sound like
It's what
to
you do. You know that's what you do. Especially when you have bread in both cheeks.
I often have bread in both cheeks.
All the
actually,
time. She
in this
squirrels
house.
bread in both cheeks. I swear.
That's what the signs say on our front lawn. In this house, we put bread in both cheeks.
Bread in both cheeks.
In this house, we believe in eating like a chipmunk.
So there you go. Erica Kirk, man. I think that this is just the scary world we live in today. It really is sometimes extremely overwhelming, and
smear campaigns.
It fills me with dread sometimes.
All over the place. There is no internet beef that has not been like completely manufactured.
Yeah. It does make me feel like sometimes I think I get a little like down because like I'm pretending to fight Leo when I've lost at that so laughably, and I know that it's like and there's a certain level of impossibility, like that comes with the realization of what has happened, the very entirely like small dent of anything I've ever been able to create since he did what he did. And
I think
and then
your
you just
next-
see all these things. You see the power play going on between people like Candace Owens now and her, and they all got their voice. So she, like Candace Owens, has a platform. She has a fan base. She can work with it, and Candace Owens is the same. And it's just such a different perspective when
You said Candace Owens is the same as Candace Owens?
sorry, Erica Kirk.
Yeah.
They both have these machines behind them that are driven and are funded, and it's just such a different perspective to just have one of the two parties with the big boots. So I just whatever. So I think I get a little like thrown down by the fact that these when you see these big boys going at it with each other,
Yeah.
and you realize like, wow, I can't compete with that. I can't. There's just no.
But then you think about the magnificence and extreme, like the magnificence of the universe and our extreme, like puny insignificance here.
Yeah.
And then you're like, do I care about smear campaigns? Does any of this fucking matter?
Well, don't throw me into that kind of existential crisis, because that's the kind of thing that makes you fucking decide to become a fucking nomad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
you push me off that cliff, I might just be fucking, trading in everything we got here for a Winnebago and a fucking barbecue.
Let's go, bro. I think the next great battle between you and the powers that be that support Leonardo DiCaprio and his continuing boot on your neck.
Boot my neck.
I think that the next terrain of that battle is going to be legal. I think that it seems like the next thing to focus on should be trying to obtain the film and the money that was owed to you.
Yeah.
People reach out to you and they're like, "Oh yeah, I bought the DVD like 10 years ago in Europe." And you're like, "I was supposed to make that money."
Yeah. Deanna's here.
Hi, Deanna. Is it Deanne or Deanna? Deanne, I think.
Or Deanna, I mean. Did I say Deanna?
Yeah.
Oh, Deanna. Nope, it's Deanne. And
Okay,
she's here.
I have more items for you.
Okay.
These two are about how the very worst people on the planet are running all these technology companies.
Oh, yeah, we know that. Yeah.
So it's kind of a downer, but it's really interesting to think about the character of the people that are in charge of these things.
Cosmic Urgency is speaking a different language.
Oh, yeah?
Solo se puedo hablar en español. I know part of what he said
Only
there.
if you can speak in Spanish.
Yeah, okay. I was guessing the whole thing right. I don't know what you mean by that. I can't speak Spanish, which is, my shame.
It's your shame?
Yeah, because I can only speak one language, and,
You read that pretty good.
Well, it's because I tried. So I can read it. I can read some of it pretty good.
Yeah.
The small words, the small ones.
Mm-hmm.
You get into the big fucking elemente ones, and I'm just like, I start losing my shit in a hurry.
Mente is the same, what do they call it?
It's a conjugation, right? Basically.
No. Mente is just an adverb. It just means ly. Like in
okay.
English, how you have a word
Yeah.
and then you stick ly on the end of it, it turns into an adverb.
Yeah.
Like it describes a verb. That's what mente is. You can just stick mente at the end of any
I know they do it all the time. It's hilarious.
adjective and it describes the verb.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Ain't that something?
It's easy to learn Spanish because it's very similar to English.
It's not easy.
But it's similar, is what I'm saying.
It's easier than like Mandarin.
Somebody on TikTok was explaining about how Japanese is structured like stacking blocks. Like their grammar, completely different. They don't have grammatical structure of their sentences anything like we do. You would not find me learning a language like that because I would just collapse. There's no way. I couldn't even get close. I don't know how anybody does it. To completely restructure your understanding of speaking a language, any language, in order to understand that much of a difference of a language.
I like video games, and sometimes I play Japanese RPGs, JRPGs, with the Japanese and then subtitles, because it's way more fun. Because I love the sudo. Do it a and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, those
And it's
voice
just like,
actors are
and
the
it was
best.
like, pass me the rice cake, or anybody want curry?
That's funny.
Yeah. What else you got?
I got lots. You want to hear it?
Sure,
Okay,
bring it,
so I'm
man.
trying
I'm
to
just
tell
sitting
you-
here with my twiddling thumbs, man.
Okay, listen. Okay, so OpenAI.
These guys are dropping the Spanish in the fucking chat now. Cosmic Urgency turned us into this multilingual. I feel lost and left out. No, I don't. I'm just totally kidding. Gusto.
You're on one side. We're all on the other side with Bad Bunny, and it's time you come over.
I was about to bust out some Portuguese. Muito bem.
That's not.
Muito bem. Muito. You know what I'm saying?
That's hard. It's hard for a Canadian.
It is.
Okay, let me tell the fucking story. Are you ready?
God. Yeah.
Okay, so this happened over the weekend too, February 23rd. Sam Altman is the guy who runs OpenAI. He's in charge of. He's like the fucking CEO or whatever.
Right.
And they do ChatGPT. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's constantly out talking about how great his product is.
Yeah.
Somebody
As it
asked him.
sucks up the water and
Yes.
eats all the RAM.
I know. Somebody confronted him in an interview about how ChatGPT uses immense amounts of natural resources and how each query would use gallons of water. And his answer is that it is no less valid than a human being using a bunch of resources and gallons of
I
water.
can't believe we're there already.
No, he does not. He said it
Like, they don't even have sex bots yet. They don't even have sex robots yet. And he's trying to, like, at least wait till everyone's sleeping with one of these things.
He's not even defending his product. He is simply saying that humans are fucking worthless. And so whatever my product consumes is better than what humans do.
I'm serious about this. Like, at least wait until men start screwing robots.
He said Sam Altman argued that humans also consume energy to carry out tasks.
I can't
so
believe
what
we're
are you
already
even complaining
there.
about?
All I got is a vacuum. And I found out it's a breach of security. But all I have is a damn vacuum, and you're already at the point where I gotta like turn it into a sentient fucking being and give it sentient things. What are we making it cake on its birthday now?
No, you wouldn't, because that would be a waste, according to him. It's just the ultimate, like, these guys are such fucking sociopaths. So I really liked this guy's take on it. I'm just going to read it. I retweeted it.
You're such a retweeter.
I know I am. This guy, David Fairchild on Twitter, he said, Sam Altman's not just defending AI energy use. He's smuggling in a whole anthropology where humans are basically inefficient meat computers that you have to pour food and years into before they become useful. And once you accept that, the next move is obvious.
Yeah.
If people are just costly
It's
biological
the Matrix. We're fucking hooked up to fucking tubes. They pump fucking fluid into us.
Yeah. If people are just costly biological training runs, then burning mountains of electricity to build synthetic intelligence starts to feel not only equal, but superior, even if it negatively impacts actual humans. This is dystopian. It makes human development sound like a bug in the system, and it makes sacrificing human and creational flourishing for more computational power sound logical. To him, the grid gets strained, prices go up, ecosystems get hit, but hey, humans eat too, so what's the difference? The difference is that humans aren't an inefficient line item. They're the point. If your worldview can look at a child growing into an adult and describe it as energy spent to train intelligence, you haven't said something profound. You've revealed a horrifically rotten worldview. It's like literally the worst people. So his quote was, Sam Altman said, "People talk about how much energy it takes to train an AI model, but it also takes a lot of energy to train a human. It takes like 20 years of life and all of the food you eat during that time before you get smart." So he's talking about how it's better. Like, forget the fact that there's like, human relationships, like, the awe and wonder of discovery,
Family.
creativity. Yeah. None of that even factors in.
Surfing.
All of that is a waste because it takes energy and it doesn't output anything he can exploit. And this is how these fucking people think.
Yeah.
I don't know how you have to raise a kid to have them grow up to be this guy.
Well,
I don't know how you have to damage a child to have them grow up to be this guy.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that's a place where some of the damage took place, but I will say that a lot of that damage might also have taken place during the hoarding of the money. And then when you're hoarding money, you start making big decisions that like dramatically affect lives and towns and economies and
Yes,
families.
and you have to not care about it.
And you completely detach yourself from it, and we become straight numbers. That's all we are. Like
It's sociopathic.
When it's sociopathic. So when you're sitting in like a room filled with these fucking assholes in Washington, they'll be like, well, like Donald Trump said, it was like it's only a couple of people. There was only 2 people, he said, of the fucking murders that took place in Minnesota. He said it was only 2 people.
Oh yeah, I know. And
then the fucking interviewer was like, but they were American citizens.
They're
Despite the
all
fact
doing
that
it too, like,
why would that fucking matter?
fucking,
Do you know what I mean?
I remember Dr. Fauci was given that interview, like after all of the controversy and everybody, well, the right was attacking him. He gave this interview where he was supposed to like, help improve his image, and he said that we're just going to go forward with the COVID precautions that we have, and then like there's going to be some disabled and elderly people, and they'll fall by the wayside, and it's like not a big deal. Like
Fauci said
those
that.
are parents, those are family members, those are like
He didn't say
really,
not a big deal, but it was as if he said not a big deal.
that they'll fall by the wayside, like as if you don't have to worry about them at all. Like those are members of our society. Those are like really like highly contributive members.
But that's how you get there, right? You get there because you're sitting there and you're looking at this big picture.
Yes, they're all numbers.
And you're
to
not
people.
associated to that. Like when the Mike Huckabee interview, I heard a clip today. Pardon me. I heard a clip of it today. And in it, they were talking about the casualty count between Israel and Palestine. And in the conversation, they were flipping around numbers that included tens of thousands of people that were either dead or not dead. Didn't matter. Whatever. Let's just use their numbers, they were arguing.
Yeah, they're just numbers.
They were just numbers. They're saying, let's just talk about, like, they're talking about human fucking beings. Children, mothers, daughters, brothers, husbands, wives, all these fucking things, all these real and beautiful things, and people and beings, and they spoke about them where they were dismissing one way or another, whatever, 50,000, 60,000. Let's use their number and say it's 50,000. There's literally 10,000 people right there, dead or not dead.
I know when they refer to them as like a population, it's actually dehumanizing, because they're no longer individuals. It's weird. It's strange. And I just think it's really important to recognize that like when you use ChatGPT or something like that, like these are the people that you're working with. They're like the absolute worst distortion of capitalist ambition, right? Like they've turned into the monsters, right? We've created monsters that we no longer can control, and everybody is just using their products as if it's normal. Like, don't use ChatGPT anymore. That's who fucking runs it. That's who wants you to use it. Fuck that guy.
The problem is they're going to use it. People are already dependent on it.
Yeah.
They're scanning emails. They're responding to things quicker. People are making more money faster. It's creating efficiency in their own lives, and nobody wants to turn away from efficiency any more than capitalists want to turn away from rising prices. Like Donald Trump effectively rose all these prices with these tariffs. Those prices aren't going to come down. Watch. And they got the rebate too. On top of it, they're getting repaid.
Yeah, right.
The $125 billion is going back to them.
I've managed to come up with a bunch of really horrible news stories for you today, and miraculously, none of them involved that guy. So I was actually really
Tobey
surprised.
Maguire?
No, Trump. When you brought him up.
Fuck.
Anyway, I have another one, but it's also kind of a downer. But it has a happy ending.
Come on, I mean, let's just eat.
Yeah, you want me to bring it?
Eat the fucking overripe fruit.
Even if it's a little rotten.
You ever like that? You're like, oh, this is gonna be great, and then you bite into it, you're like, God damn it.
It's kind of mushy.
Yeah, because you think like it's got the right feel and everything. You're like, oh, it's got the smell. Oh, this is gonna be that, and then you bite into it. It's like, no, it's not that. Shit, it's all fucking bruised inside and dead, dying. America, go ahead.
It's just the same as America. You know what? Every time I experience that, it reminds me of my home country. Yeah. I actually got this story from an astrologer, but she was reposting this this political reporter who's like this senior political analyst for some publication. I didn't look it up, but anyway, her name is Jennifer Griffin, not the astrologer, the reporter. Mm-hmm. She says at a high stakes Pentagon meeting today, Secretary Hegseth gave Anthropic Anthropic is a AI company. Okay.
And they're like they do like defense contracts and stuff.
Yeah. Secretary Hegseth gave Anthropic head Dario Amodi an ultimatum. He says he wants them to allow the Pentagon to use Anthropic's AI model for mass domestic surveillance.
Oh, fuck. Here we go.
And kinetic autonomous operations. Kinetic autonomous operations.
What does that mean?
It means explosions. It means warfare. It means shooting autonomously. And he says that he wants...
So like robots, armed robots.
Armed robots.
Coming to our doors, coming to our jobs, gunning us down possibly in the streets.
I mean, that's what one would think. Anyway, okay, listen. Secretary
I
Hegseth...
can't believe we're here already.
He gave Anthropic's...
Slow down.
Okay, listen, he had a meeting and he gave the dude an ultimatum. He said, allow the Pentagon to use Anthropic's AI model for mass domestic surveillance and kinetic autonomous operations without human oversight. Or, he said, your alternative to letting us do that is face censure and be labeled a supply chain threat.
So the American government will destroy your company. This is what they did to TikTok. They said TikTok is going to sell to us.
Yeah.
Or we're going to kill or we'll destroy it.
Yeah.
We'll destroy half or more of your value in a minute.
So this is really interesting. So this reporter did a really great job.
This place is just nasty.
I know. It's crazy. Okay, so Hegseth praised the Anthropic product, but then said if by Friday, it's the ultimatum deadline is Friday, if Anthropic does not agree to the Pentagon's use of the model without restrictions, then Hegseth would terminate the contract and use the Defense Production Act to force Anthropic to comply, and or designate Anthropic a supply chain threat and national security risk. And Jennifer Griffin did a great job of clarifying. She said both are mutually exclusive. Both cannot be true.
Right.
So his threat is strange, and it puts them in a really tough spot. She says you can't be a supply chain risk, but also invoke the Defense Production Act to say that the country needs this product so much for national security that it would override any restrictions put in place by the company.
It's obviously a retaliation.
That limits government access to the product.
It's obviously retaliation.
Yeah, of course.
On its face.
She said at issue is Anthropic's two stipulations. So it has security measures in place, and Hegseth wants those to be undone. Okay. At issue is Anthropic's two stipulations that its advanced AI model currently used in the Pentagon's classified systems is not used for autonomous kinetic operations.
It's operated by a man.
Anthropic currently requires human oversight of autonomous operations when used to kill things for safety reasons, because they don't know how the autonomous system would react and could even endanger soldiers using the model. Soldiers and others could lose control of the model and automatically start killing large groups without humans in the in quotes, kill chain. Kill chain is also another thing that was apparently revealed by what is this other company called? That other defense contracting company. Palantir.
I don't know these
They
things.
have something called a kill chain. Peter Thiel was asked about it by a reporter, and he said, that actually was not approved for discussion in this interview. That's not a term that you should know. That's only an internal term. Kill chain. That if they're going to kill something, there has to be a chain of like people involved.
That die?
No.
Oh, just people. Oh, the people involved.
The people involved in deciding who they're killing.
In the death.
They're talking about killing people. Okay. I mean, like, I get it. Defense people do this, but like, it's just shocking. Anyway. Anthropic currently requires human oversight of autonomous operations because they literally do not know whether the AI is going to start targeting its own, like whether it's going to do friendly fire. So that's the reason why humans are involved in deciding what it kills. Okay. Second, yes. Anthropic bars its models from being used for mass surveillance domestically, which is a good thing that I didn't know about. So they're saying that there's two things: is like humans have to be running these things, and we are not doing domestic surveillance on a mass scale. We're not doing that.
Right there. That's their current policy.
And Hegseth wants
it just sucks because that's their current policy.
Hegseth wants those restrictions lifted.
And if it's not going to be him, it's going to be somebody. Honestly, we got to bail, bro. This place is going down.
Okay, but listen.
Oh my God. This is the most dystopian shit I've ever heard in my life.
I told you, dude, that there was going to be, okay, so.
This is some fucking, talk about.
Uranus squaring Mars right now, this last end of the week.
Yeah.
It's going to be about big revelations in warfare. This is what's happening.
This is also Pluto and Aquarius too. I mean.
Okay,
know?
according to a source familiar with the talks, Anthropic has never objected to the use of its models for legitimate military operations. It also told Hegseth it never complained to the Pentagon or Palantir about the use of its models in the Maduro raid. So it was they're already using it for Maduro.
What did they? Oh my God, I want to see that footage.
So they're like, well, you're already using everything. We're all working very happily to topple foreign governments. We just don't think that you should be doing it domestically. So Hegseth is trying to figure out a way to turn the armed forces against American citizens, is what this is.
Cosmic's asking if we're moving to Canada. No, we're not. We're not. But I'm terrified, man. I'm becoming terrified. Like, and they might come get me. I don't know. Like, you know, they're gonna look up my IRS now. They're gonna look up all of us who are here in the country with green cards. They're gonna look us all up. And I don't know if I'm gonna get flagged because I don't make any money.
Dave Lawler is reporting on this too, said Hegseth gave Anthropic till Friday to lift all restrictions on how the military can use Claude AI. His threat, invoking the Defense Production Act to force Dario's hand or else blacklisting Claude. But this just in, this guy, Phil Stewart, who's also a political reporter, said this alert just hit our wire. Anthropic has no intention to ease restrictions on military usage.
Well,
the source says.
So this is where we are today. TikTok had no intention of selling TikTok to anybody. This is where we are today. You know, like, this is where we are today. We don't know. We don't fucking know.
Anthropic's top rules against the military usage are only that Claude cannot be used to spy on citizens and Claude cannot be used to automate kill decisions. And so Hegseth thinks that these rules are unacceptable. And I just don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing anymore.
It's frightening.
Like, this is supposed to be a group project. What the fuck are they? What are they doing? An astrologer was talking about how this is
This is what, by the way, this is why they wanted no rules. This is why they passed the big beautiful bill. And in it,
they didn't want to regulate AI.
No regulations
That's
on
That's
AI.
exactly why.
This is it.
That makes a lot of
This
sense.
is the no regulations. Because if there were regulations, there's no way that
he doesn't want to have to go to Congress for this.
there's no way that we as citizens wouldn't be putting the pressure on we as citizens
really
or residents in my case, but those of us living here wouldn't want to put pressure on Congress and our senators when it comes to this kind of shit. Absolutely nobody wants this.
So this is the era right now that we're in right now. This is we're getting a bunch of exposure of secrets. This is the theme.
This is so crazy. I can't even believe this.
But here's the thing, dude. Here's what's really fucking weird is, like, here we are. We're fearful of it as Americans, but this is what they've been doing in foreign countries since fucking forever. It's
no, they haven't. This is brand new.
No. We're only talking about this because they're planning. They want to lift restrictions on surveilling and attacking citizens. But they've been doing this in other countries. It has been fair game for them forever, and it's just really. This is what they call the imperial boomerang. All of the horrible things that we do overseas eventually gets brought back home, and that we have to face it.
It's just a terrifying timeline in every respect. I can't believe it's happening. I don't know if our chat is broken because Cosmic Urgency. I don't know if they're just playing games or not. Because I can see my stuff is in English and he's saying it's a glitch. That
it's being translated?
Yeah.
Did you set a setting to Spanish?
No, certainly not.
He's probably just fucking with you.
No, I mean, I actually knew about the Slayer law because of Knives Out by Splishness.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Splishness, you're on Team Reality, right? It's all YouTube says, and he's there. No, Serrata just did a test. See? Hey, what's up, Serrata? See? Yeah, look.
You guys are so helpful.
Test. We are doomed. Run.
How do you say we are doomed in Spanish?
For your lives. Don't misspell that, Dale.
Anyway, that's all I have. I only brought doom and gloom today.
Your doom and gloom was top shelf. I'm truly terrified.
I think it's important to be.
I haven't been this scared since Nightmare on Elm Street, man, in the theaters. Good God. Just don't go to sleep.
Well, so I just feel like I I've never been involved or even peripherally involved in like any sort of military service. Like I literally never have known anybody personally who's been in the military.
Right.
But I feel like there's like entire cultures of people who have a real hard on for the Constitution. And they are very, very, like, very
Protective
clearly
of it.
never going to compromise on that oath that they took.
Okay.
And I just feel like I hope that a bunch of those people are willing to, like, you know, hold the line or whatever they say. Because it seems pretty bad to me, and I'm not even in those circles. It's got to be real bad to them. Just the absolute worst people are running everything. And I think that it's a result of like decades of people not paying attention to politics and just allowing these things to go on and like not caring. And the Citizens United happened and like nobody fought back in any meaningful way. And so here we are. So I just feel like everybody knows what the problem is now. Now it gives everybody, it's empowering people to hopefully fix it. I don't know. Who are you talking to?
My mom, she just popped in.
Yeah.
Mom!
What's up, Ma?
No, I'm talking to, the chat because we're trying to determine whether or not there's a glitcho. He said, glitcho only letso speako in Espanol. Which is pretty fucking funny.
Archival Raccoon decided to do Italian. That's a crazy Cosmico.
That's a crazy.
Cosmic Urgency. Glitcho only letso speako in Espanol.
Cosmic Urgency is still not seeing my comments.
I love that Cosmic Urgency did a ha 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 in Spanish. You know, they
Ja,
do
ja, 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 ja.
J-A-J-A.
Yeah. It's very funny.
All right.
Yeah, so the world's a little upside down. Let me check and see if I have anything left. Yeah, today was busy. It's going to be harder for me while writing the book. I hope some of you guys will join me on this path because it's super fun. But, I got some breaking news, actually. You want to hear some breaking TMZ shit?
Yes, but only you can never do breaking news if it's somebody has passed away because sometimes
This person is
I
not
get
dead,
very
but they
sad.
might. But this person is not dead, but this is going to hurt.
Oh, what happened?
Are you ready?
They're not dead?
They're not dead, but this is going to hurt
Hurt me?
everybody. It's going to hurt everybody.
Okay, what?
The headline says, Back to the Future, Crispin Glover. Woman files lawsuit, you lured me, then beat me.
You know, if there's one person in Hollywood,
That might
I don't doubt it for a second.
be like the actual Jesse Plemons character in Begonia, like in real life.
That guy's a fucking weirdo.
Back to the Future star Crispin Glover manipulated a model from the United Kingdom to be his live-in girlfriend in Los Angeles and work for him for free. Then he locked her out of his home and beat the crap out of her, and now she says she's homeless. All this according to a new lawsuit. Crispin is being sued by Jane Doe, who claims Crispin lured her from Europe to LA with false promises of a new life and career in Hollywood, only for Crispin to allegedly turn out to be a violent control freak. In the lawsuit obtained by TMZ, the woman claims she met Crispin through social media in 2015, and he would persistently message her for years to come to LA. According to the woman, he made strange advances, and when they met in person in 2023 in Dresden, Germany.
He made strange advances, which is so
like
funny
that wouldn't be
because
like, you wouldn't see that coming.
If you've ever seen a Crispin Glover movie, he always makes the weirdest choice that you could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
He's like if a character was like, okay, what if the character I'm playing is not even human?
Yeah.
Like, what if it's his first day on Earth and he's trying to act normal?
Still one of my favorite guys ever, and this is, so sad if true. And when they met in person in 2023 in Dresden, Germany, she claims he showed her Nazi memorabilia from his collection. Well, people are he is fucking weird. The woman says she stayed in contact with Crispin despite this odd behavior because it's a trip to Hollywood. It's a weird thing. It's just like the same thing with Tyler Perry and his the allegations against him, where he's sitting there going, you want to sucker, little boy? I got a sucker. You just got to do me a couple faves. Mm-hmm. The woman says that she stayed in contact with Crispin because of despite his odd behavior, because he would dangle work opportunities in Hollywood. And in early 2024, she says he promised that she could live in his Silver Lake home and work as his assistant. She says Crispin manipulated her to stop paying rent for her apartment in Europe and convinced her to sell her belongings before moving in with him. And when she got to LA, she learned he expected her to be his live-in girlfriend and work for free. She's like, dude, I need some money, bro. I got shit to do. The woman says that she had no family, friends, or contacts in LA and was essentially reliant on Crispin, who she claims would track her whereabouts and try to control where she went and who she interacted with. I got to tell you, though, when you're in Los Angeles, it doesn't matter when. Like, there were some times when I felt so fucking alone, bro. Like, oh, man, especially if you're, like, strapped for money and you're afraid of,
Are you talking about her experience?
Yeah, that thing I just really related to, when she said that she was, that all of her friends and family were gone. The most, I couldn't capture this in the book, but I couldn't find a way to do it economically and make it make sense for this book that I was writing. But it was bizarre having no family and friends in my life, like no old friends and no family. When I got to Los Angeles, my oldest friend was less than a year. My oldest friend, the deepest, the guy who knew me most, I'd known for less than a year. And it just allows it. So anything you say about yourself, people ask you something, hey man, blah, 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 da, 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 and you say it, there's no one there to back you up. Doesn't matter what it is. Right. You're just fucking, people got to rely on it. And it wasn't long into, my moving to Los Angeles where that became extremely uncomfortable.
I've heard this about Los Angeles from other people too, is that it seems like a very lonely place.
I tried to capture it in the one moment in the book where I talk about, walking in when everybody leaves Hollywood for the holidays.
Yeah.
And it's just like this big giant town suddenly even feels more lonely. The woman says that she had no family or friends. In the docs, the woman claims on March 2nd, 2024, that she told Crispin that she was leaving the house to go to a mosque. She said Crispin told her that she would be locked out if she left, but she says she didn't believe him and she left anyway. She says when she returned, she was locked out and Crispin wanted her to find a new place to live. So I'm not going to finish this article because it's going on far too long for this particular thing, but nasty piece of fucking business, isn't it? I'm not talking about Crispin Glover or whatever. That's between him and whatever. Oh, she's got a mark on her neck. That's not good.
I just, can you imagine being like an attorney hired by Crispin Glover and just been like, okay, listen, your day in court, you're going to have to not be weird. The jury's going to have to see you not be fucking weird. Are you capable of that?
Right. Absolutely worst defendant ever.
I know.
But he is very famous. He's in one of the most famous movies of all time. Oh, Brittany's up to it again. She's posting pics.
Yeah, that's okay. She's allowed to do whatever she wants.
This is a video.
Brittany gets a pass.
It's wild. It's wild. I'm definitely going to watch it later. Anyway, I don't have anything. I'm a fucking useless shite today because I was writing live on Patreon for the crew.
I love that you're writing again.
Listen, it's going to be fun. It's going to be really, really fun. I'm so excited for people who want to come and hang out with me on Patreon. And, you stop in, man. Just stop in and see how it's going, man. It was kind of it wasn't a magical day, but it was like, it was a good one. I got some really cool, some cool shit. I did some really cool dialogue tweaking and whatever. It's as I get deeper into it, people are going to be able to like look at my process and decide, pick the things that might work for you or get inspired by it. And if writing is your thing, you know what I mean? So, check it out on Patreon. If you're not a member, you know how to become one. Just hit the link and off you go. You want to get to Jamey Heath then?
Oh, yeah, sure.
The Jamey Heath portion of the program?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking guy.
Let's have it.
Crispin is in Friday the 13th, part 4, the final chapter. Yeah, well, I'm already afraid. That guy's so creepy. Do you ever see that movie Rats? I think that was was it called Rats? He did a movie called Rats.
No, it was Ben.
Ben. It was Ben.
Yeah.
I had a rat named Ben.
Everybody had a rat named Ben.
No. I had a rat named Ben before I ever knew anyone else did.
What?
Yes.
No way.
Yep. I swear to fucking...
Your reaction.
I 100% did. Well, what blew my mind was because I didn't know that Michael Jackson had a rat named Ben until I moved to fucking America. I never even knew about that.
What was the movie that we saw in that Crispin Glover was his absolute weirdest? It was recently. It was the Sean Penn movie with Christopher Walken. What's that title?
Oh, which one? What?
Sean Penn.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah. State of Grace.
State of Grace?
Yeah.
No.
No. Sean Penn.
Sean Penn, Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken is Sean Penn's dad.
And Sean Penn's dad?
Yeah. Sean Penn. Young Sean Penn
Yeah.
is a guy. Crispin Brothers' his brother.
Crispin
Glover is his brother.
Sean Penn and
Oh my
Crispin
God, I
Glover?
have to look this up. We just saw it. You recommended it. We watched it, and that's why I'm asking you. For
Crispin Glover?
Crispin Glover is the brother. One of the brothers or friends.
At Close Range.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cosmic.
Cosmic Urgency saves the day, bro.
That was a great.
You were the one that recommended it.
I forgot that Crispin was in that.
Okay, Crispin Glover in At Close Range is the absolute pinnacle of weirdness.
He is.
He's weird in everything, but he is the weirdest I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, there he's super unstable. Now I remember him
It's
clearly.
like he's wearing a human suit and that he just tried on right before the camera started rolling.
Yeah. Did you like At Close Range? I don't think you did.
I did.
You
I
did?
did. It was strange.
Trippy.
Yeah.
He was weird in it. Chris.
Yeah, oddly, he was
Chris
so
Walken.
weird in that movie, and Christopher Walken was not weird. He's usually very weird.
He was weird. Christopher Walken was.
He was, yeah, but it
He was doing those like stares. Those like.
Yes, I know.
Stop staring at me
It
like
kind of
that.
worked.
Fucking making me nervous.
Okay.
Busting out the Heath.
This is day 2 of Jamey Heath's deposition.
Tis.
This one is scattered across like 5 different documents that I have, so I'm going to have to pause while I reorient what the next page is supposed to be. So just bear with me.
I haven't seen River's Edge in forever, but I loved that movie too. Go ahead, sorry.
I'll watch it with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up and see where it is because as soon as he said it, I was like, I'd love to see it again. I haven't seen it since back.
I
then.
love those like 80s and 90s like adventure like wilderness adventure movies where somebody's trying to kill another person all of a sudden.
Yeah,
there was a
loved
bunch of
this
those
movie.
it was basically like if you were an A-list actor, you had to like argue with another A-list actor in the rushing rapids of a river. Like that was like you had to do one of those movies. It was a bunch of those.
Holy fuck, Ione Skye was in that. Fucking crazy is that? Yeah,
She just released her memoir.
she did.
Yep.
Huh. It's
Okay.
tough out there. I don't
Have we
want to
turned the
discourage
page?
her, but it's tough out there. You can watch River's Edge for free on Tubi here in America if you want to check it out. Go ahead, Angela. Yeah,
Are you
we're ready.
sure? Because sometimes you say that and then you're not with me.
You're just gonna have to deal with all the. Oh, concerned citizen. Hi, that's Austin, right? Said best Madonna song, "Live to Tell."
Yes. That was in At Close Range.
Yeah, it was good.
Apparently they were together then.
It's kind of haunting. Yeah, they was messing around.
Do you want to hear some fucking deposition?
I
or not?
said yes, Angela.
Some of my favorite jokes that you ever do, the ones that always make me giggle, are the ones where you pretend like we're fighting or you're
We're a
mad at me
feuding couple.
because that's never the reality, and so it's always funny.
It'd be like, do you want to come walk the dog with me? Why are you always on my back?
Yeah, because you're never like that.
I love doing that shit. Should be like, you don't have to yell. I'd be like, it's fun though. Just let it out.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Day 2, Jamey Heath deposition. Starts at page 27. I don't know what happened before then. Okay. Question. Did you discuss with them, yes or no, what you were going to testify about with respect to that answer this morning? Same objection and same instruction by Ms. Shapiro. Question. Are you going to follow that instruction? He said, I think it's best. Okay. The attorney, I don't know who this is this time. I guess they'll be cited eventually. Okay, I don't have the attorney is asking. I don't have the words right in front of me, but you did give me the correction that you wanted to correct at the top of my testimony today. Would you just explain that to me again? What it is about yesterday's testimony that you wanted to correct in today's testimony?
Ooh.
Jamey Heath says, I think simply as I was testifying as it pertains to 17-point list and my state of mind and how I viewed it in reflecting, while, of course, I agreed that all of these things were reasonable things that anyone asked for. I think I also messaged that I may not have considered that some of these things had a nod to how what may have been brought up in the past. And that's what I wanted to. Jamey Heath is fucking strange, dude. Okay.
It's like he's definitely, if like aliens are among us, this guy just,
he's like, it's a strange way to narrate your
he
thoughts.
like came from planet Zoombop to be a fucking film producer.
And that's what I wanted to.
Just not going to cut it.
Why would you not complete your sentence? Okay. The attorney says, I see. So am I understanding correctly that what you're essentially saying is you think during the deposition yesterday, it may have appeared from your testimony that you were not leaving room for the possibility that some of the things on the 17-point list related in some way to past incidents? And that's the aspect of it that you wanted to expand on this morning? Jamey Heath says, not necessarily that it related or not, but that I had considered that could some of these things that I don't even know how to read what he's saying. Not necessarily that it related or not, but that I had considered that could some of these things have some sort of nod, for lack of a better term, to what we had discussed.
That could some of these things have. It's bad. I get it.
Who talks like that?
He does. It's terrible.
Miss Shaw is asking questions. So this attorney is the attorney for Jones Works lawsuit and Stephanie Jones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Question. What you and Miss Lively and others had discussed in the past? Jamey Heath says, some of the concerns that she may have spoken about. Miss Shaw says, okay. And when you say the word nod, like it may have some nod to those things, do you mean reference or relatedness? Or can you give me another verb? She's like, I literally don't know what you're saying. You're speaking English, but you make no sense. Jamey Heath says that it could have insinuated that possibly, is this related to anything that's come up before? While I didn't necessarily land on that, but that it was a consideration. Ms. Shaw says, it's something that went through your mind at the time? He said, sure. She says, okay. Why was it important to you to correct that aspect of your testimony this morning? He said, I really want to do my best to reflect and to be truthful. And if that was sitting in me, that did I convey that correctly? And so that was the purpose. Ms. Shaw says, is there anything else about your testimony yesterday that you want to take the opportunity now to correct? He says, no. Okay, were you in the room, the breakout room with your lawyers last night after the deposition with some of the other defendants here, and I believe your wife and Mr. Baldoni's wife for quite a long time last night? She's saying you were in that room. During that time, did you discuss the substance of your deposition testimony yesterday in any respect? He says, I don't believe so.
I mean, you just come on,
dude.
That? You guys talked about old trips to Disneyland.
Okay, this is how many pages later? This is almost like 10 pages later. Can you describe for me what are your responsibilities as CEO of Wayfair? He says, I can quickly the financial strategy of Wayfair, what we're investing in, everything that has to do with that, investments, the way that we do our deals, where we are holding our money, anything of that nature. Creatively, projects that we do, are they in line with who we are? Are they good? The quality of it? There is more to it than that, but that's the basic. Also, our leadership and culture, how we walk, our purpose as a company, what our goals are, and to build a relationship with others.
How we walk.
I'm
going with one foot in front of the other like everybody else, buddy.
On water.
Yeah,
all the time.
On water.
Question, what is Wayfair's purpose as a company? Jamey Heath says, we want to make art that lifts the human spirit, that speaks to things that oftentimes don't have an opportunity to be commercial. They don't have to be commercial, but oftentimes they don't have a path. To give filmmakers, sometimes new filmmakers, opportunities to make movies. Not Blake Lively, though.
Nope.
To tell stories that a lot of people may not see are worth telling. And as I say, and my CFO gets mad at me all the time, is that we want to make things that have impact whether or not they make money. Of course, we have to make money, but that's not our primary goal. Is Wayfair profitable? He said no. Has it ever been? He said no. Probably because he doesn't care what he's spending money on.
Well, he doesn't. He doesn't pay attention to it. He literally
he's approving expenses he doesn't even know about. Can't testify to.
Did they send you a point list about what they're going to do for the money? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember.
How much did you pay them? Like 100 G's. I don't know.
Question.
Insanity.
I believe Mr. Sarowitz testified that Wayfair is paying for the litigation fees and expenses of the various defendants in these two related litigations. Is that correct? Jamey, he says, I don't know about, the defendants, yes, we are paying for those.
I just can't believe it. This is the biggest shocking thing for me of all this story is I can't believe that this is happening. These guys got so completely scammed.
Yeah.
They got scammed that they're footing the bill for the problem that those publicists caused them. Like, fucking Baldoni, the whole point of getting people like the reason you surround yourself with a bunch of professionals is so that you can have your whims and they'd be like, wait, whoa. This equals that if you do this.
Your publicists are not supposed to, they're supposed to be insured.
Well, they're also supposed to like guide you out of the trouble that you're going to cause yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like in the moment where he's wanting to rage, well, I mean, maybe they're not. Maybe they're not. Obviously, they're not. They're there to take your money. They're there to take your money. Like everything else in this country, they're just there to take your money. They want it. They want to take it from you. And they're willing to, make whatever sacrifice. It's so fucking hard to make a decent living.
Question.
I think it is anyway. Yeah.
And that includes litigation fees and expenses for Mr. Baldoni's defense? He says it does. And for Miss Abel's defense? It does. And for Miss Nathan's defense? He says it does. And for Wayfarer's defense? He says yes. And for Mr. Wallace's defense? He says yes. Sorry, I just need to. There is a lot of expenses, so I'm just making sure. Question. And for Street Relations defense? He says, I believe so. I don't know if there's a distinction between the two.
Holy shit.
Isn't that amazing? Question. And for the agency group's defense, he says, I believe so. For your defense, he says yes. For Mr. Sarawitz's defense, he says yes. Am I missing any defendants that you are paying for? He said, I don't think there's any other defendants. Okay, how about attorney's fees for Miss Case's legal fees related to this case? He says, I don't know. How about for the attorney's fees related to Miss Coslow's involvement in this case? He says, similarly, I don't know. This skips a few pages. I can next see page 52.
I can't believe that.
I know, isn't it weird? Okay, question. And after the time of this agreement, Wayfarer paid for the portion of Jonesworks' fee attributable to its personal publicity services for Mr. Baldoni. Is that correct? He said correct. Question. And you're aware, are you not, that Wayfarer had requested of Jonesworks around the time that this agreement in Exhibit 23 was signed, that Jonesworks issue a single invoice to Wayfarer for payment that encompassed both the fee for Wayfarer services and the fee for Mr. Baldoni's personal publicity services? Correct? He says, I believe that to be accurate. Okay. And Wayfarer regularly paid those joint or bundled invoices when they were issued by Jonesworks on behalf of both Wayfarer services and Mr. Baldoni's publicity services, personal publicity services, correct? He says, yeah, we did. Okay, and that total fee for Jonesworks services that was paid by Wayfarer and that encompassed both Jonesworks services for Wayfarer and Jonesworks services for Mr. Baldoni was $25,000 a month. Is that right? He said yes. So like a steal compared to where he went with the tag group, which was charging him much more. Okay?
Yeah.
Question. And you understand that Wayfarer had requested around the time that this agreement in Exhibit 23 was signed. Well, let me ask it this way. Prior to the time when Jonesworks began working for Wayfarer and before this agreement that we looked at in Exhibit 23 was signed, Jonesworks had already been working for Mr. Baldoni personally, right? He said, I have knowledge that they worked together. Yes, that Stephanie was his publicist. I don't know to what capacity and what agreements because it was before I was there. She said, sure. He continues, but I know they worked together. Ms. Shaw says, okay, and once this agreement between Wayfarer and Jonesworks was signed, that we're looking at it in Exhibit 23, you're aware that Wayfarer asked Jonesworks to bundle Mr. Baldoni's contract together with this Wayfarer contract, right? He says, I don't know if I understand the mechanics that happened when they were bundled, but I'm aware that they were bundled at some point. Ms. Shaw says, okay, I'm going to show you what's been marked as tab 3. Sorry. What's going to be marked as Exhibit 24. For the record, this is a text thread between Labid Aziz and Stephanie Jones, dated June 10th, 2020.
Sub Labid.
It's a text exchange. I don't know if this continues, actually. Page 54. Yeah, I don't have it. I'm sorry.
Well, that's because they didn't give it, so it's not your fault. Can't believe you'd do that to us.
Let me just switch to a new document here. Sorry, guys. All right, here we go. This is in the middle of Jamey Heath's answer. I don't know what the question or the context is. This is like almost 20 pages later. He says, so if this person was putting in their notice and moving on, what would that mean for Wayfair? So it was something to consider. But I do recall that in her notice that didn't mean she was leaving tomorrow. There was a duration of time. I don't know. I don't know if that was a month or 2 months or 3 months or whatever it would have been. But certainly that would have been on my mind. Ms. Shaw asks, you just said something about Matthew not being the person you felt safe considering to be like the leader of the Wayfair account, right? Who was the person that you felt safe with being the leader of the Wayfair account? He said Jen.
Wow,
Okay.
you're an idiot, dude. It's just so much proof how stupid you are. Like Jen, the one who had to call Justin Baldoni and say, look, there are some texts coming out.
Where I am absolutely shit talking
I'm
you.
like awful to you. And I
am
just want you to
trashing
know
your name.
I just want you to know that that's not how I feel. And they believe it.
Yeah, they believe it. Yeah, they believe it because he's fucking gullible.
So bizarre.
Jen. Okay, anyone else at Jones Works? He just repeats Jen. Okay, how would you describe the cadence of your relationship and interactions with Jen as Wayfair's publicist over the 4 years that she had been on that account? Jamey Heath says, Jen is on top of it. She understands and gets what we're about and how we like to operate, and I trust her judgment. And based on that, we built a relationship that was a professional, trusting of the path we wanted to take. While I liked Matthew Mitchell, he didn't feel to be a leader to me in the way that Jen is. Question. Did you feel like you had that close relationship of trust on a personal level with anyone else than Jen at Jonesworks? He said, I didn't have distrust with anybody, but Jen was our point. The stenographic reporter says, was our what? He said, point person. Sorry. Ms. Shaw says, and I think you testified a little bit ago, like, sure, when you found out Jen was considering leaving Jonesworks, it was a consideration for you in terms of what would happen to Wayfair after she left. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you thought about that in your mind? Damn it. I don't get to see that either. Hang on a second. Let me see if they're still talking about it here. No, they're not. Okay, this is several pages later. Jamey Heath is answering this question. I don't know what it was, but here's his long answer. Okay?
Okay.
Danny, who I'm assuming is Danny Greenberg. Okay? Justin's agent.
Yep.
He said, Danny then called me after the call with Patrick. He may have been on the call as Patrick as well. Danny. I just don't recall. He called me shortly after the call and was going to read us a letter that the Reynolds, I guess I can refer to both of them as the Reynolds, had written, and I could not believe what was happening, so I recorded it because I wanted it documented. Ms. Shaw says, what about and then he continues. He says, not only documented, he was going to dictate to me a letter and I didn't have a hard copy of it. So I wanted to record it so that I could actually write it down and have it. Oh, that's so interesting. So I wonder whether remember how that letter from Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, which was like a draft statement that they wanted Justin Baldoni to put out.
Yes.
Do you remember how I kept calling it a draft statement because it definitely wasn't well written? Maybe that was directly from Jamey Heath. Maybe Jamey Heath had written that out because he said that he wrote it out from a recording that was dictated. So maybe he wrote it out, and that's why it's so hard to read, is because Jamey Heath doesn't know how to speak.
I mean, that's got to be a reasonable... Yeah, I mean, that seems like a reasonable hypothesis for me.
Are you doing something else? I don't know what's happening.
No, I'm dealing with...
What's happening?
Hang on, just let me finish.
Am I
So the
paused?
chat is broken all over YouTube.
Okay.
So I'm just...
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Should I continue or?
Yeah, keep going.
But are you going to be with me? Because I
am
don't
with you,
want to
yes.
talk to myself.
You're no good at it anyway.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jamey Heath says, Danny then called me after the call with Patrick. He may have been on the call as Patrick as well, Danny. So weird. I just don't recall. He called me shortly after the call and was going to read us a letter that Reynolds, I guess I can refer to both of them as the Reynolds, had written. And I could not believe what was happening. So I recorded it because I wanted it documented. Not only documented, he was going to dictate to me a letter and I didn't have a hard copy of it. So I wanted to record it so that I could actually write it down and have it. Question. And what about the Sony marketing call? He says, in the Sony call, we were planning how to navigate these two different premieres, the ins and outs about it or whatever how it was gonna look. And we had, from what I believed, a really good relationship with Sony, but it started feeling like there was, and while I understand they have to kind of play middleman to whatever they think is going on or not. And that also gets cut off. But we see this 5 pages later. Ms. Shaw says, I'm gonna show you what's been marked as Exhibit 27. It's an email with an attachment dated October 24th, 2024. This was provided by JonesWorks. Who is Mitz Toskovich at Wayfair? And forgive me my pronunciation. Jamey Heath says, she's our Vice President of Operations. Who is Laura Vogelsong? He says, she's our controller. Who is Brian at Wayfair Studios? He says, he's our CFO. And what's his last name? Singer. You're not on this email. It doesn't appear to me unless you're part of the, so he says, I'm on it. You're on the accounting list serve. That's all we get to see of that. Sorry, this is so herky-jerky. This is how I've got this information.
Yeah, his
just making it
we'll just get through it. Just so people, in case you don't know, the reason there's a chat glitch right now is because they ran some bot prevention tools that
hey, that's cool.
glitched out the whole system.
Like that.
Yeah, it's like no bots, but you can't you can't speak English. I mean, it's not one of the major glitches is if you write in English, your chat gets removed.
What?
Yeah.
What? That is a really major glitch. So everybody's just.
So I just thought, I was about to
think
think Cosmic Urgency wasn't Cosmic Urgency when we first showed up. I was like, okay, we got an imposter or somebody impersonating fucking Cosmic. Nope.
Oh, I'm glad you figured it out. That's so weird.
It is weird.
Okay, sorry for all the breaks, but I'm just switching documents here.
Angela was like, I'm going to be switching some documents. I'm just going to put you in the chat and just,
And of course the chat's broken.
And the chat's broken.
Okay. Next question. Coming back to the subject of these recorded calls the call recordings that you made of the 4 calls, do you know, yes or no, whether or not your attorneys ever shared any of these calls with any of the witnesses in this case or those witnesses' counsel?
I'm sorry, what were the calls? What did you
4 calls.
Just 4 calls generally?
Yeah, that they've been talking about.
Okay.
He's asking for a repeat of the question. She says, with respect to the 4 call recordings that you made that we've discussed earlier today, one of them was the Danny Greenberg call.
We know Greenberg, and we know of. There's another one.
Yeah, I'm blanking on it too.
Go ahead.
Do you have any knowledge, yes or no, whether your attorneys ever shared any of those recordings with any of the witnesses in this case or their counsel? He said, no, I have no knowledge. Okay. Now, at some point in time, Wayfair made the decision to bring on Tag and Melissa Nathan as crisis communications professionals, right? He said, we did. This gets cut off too. But this is 2 pages later. I get to see this is a long answer of his, and it gets, we don't get to see the beginning of his answer or what the question was. Okay. So this is how what I can read on this page. Jamey Heath says, having control of edits and all of her ideas being embraced. Justin did his best with that, but he had a line. Her not getting them caused a lot of feelings. We had a year prior, if not more, had some conversations that were of her expressing that she wasn't happy with certain things. And there wasn't this veiled, like, what does that mean? I'm sorry. And there was this veiled, like, what does that mean? So we didn't know. There was this fear of an unknown, but also things happening that we were witnessing. What do we do? Jen at some point recommended, I think you should talk to Crisis PR. I think they would be helpful. So the purpose to originally meet with them and to hire them was to have some consultation. What does someone do in this particular time? And that's what led us to hire them. She says, okay. He said, sorry for the long-winded explanation, but there was probably more in there that I just giving you. You asked me specifically what led us to do that. She says, sure. He says, some of those things. She says, thank you. I appreciate it. That's all I see of that page.
Zip, zip.
We might get through this whole thing today.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I'm surprised. It's already, we're only got a half hour left-ish.
Okay. It's just like little chunks. All right. Jamey Heath is, and this is just a few pages later. He said, Jamey Heath is answering a question about Isabella Ferrer, I guess. I don't know what the context of this is or how he starts the answer, but he says, Isabella Ferrer's experiences on the set and what she has testified to in this case. I'm sorry, this is part of a question. So the attorney is asking Isabella Ferrer's experiences on the set and what she has testified to in this case, right? And so Jamey Heath says, I don't believe we talked about Isabella yesterday. Question. Okay, counsel talked to you yesterday about Miss Hoover's experiences on the set and what she has testified to about in this case, right? He says, I don't recall that. Ms. Shaw says, okay, at least with respect to then 3 women involved in the film, Miss Lively, Miss Slate, and Alex Sachs, coming into August of 2024. How do you think it's possible that by then you did not recognize indications of their discomfort and concerns about what had happened on the set and people's on-set behavior? That is a very good question. Jamey Heath says, in order to have this conversation or for me to give testimony, it's not really a conversation. I don't know how this is working. We're going to have to separate Alex Sachs because other than what I heard and some testimony, and until she then also would not go to the premiere, up until that time, we were on fine speaking terms, she and I. Everything was good. So other than, which I acknowledge, there was a moment that they bumped heads on set. There was no indication that there was anything more than that with Alex Sachs, nor had I heard any accusations that there was more than that, that there was more other than they bumped heads a few times. I don't want to belittle what someone may feel, but I want to be clear that in intense situations, people bump heads all the time. I'm sure you've bumped heads with an attorney once or twice. I saw you guys going at it a few times. It happens, but then do you go and think that there is a problem with this person because you bumped heads? That's what the experience was with Alex. So I think it's important to separate that from anything else because there was no indication for me at that point to think when you say other women to include Alex, if that's fair. Wow.
You are belittling it though. Like you can try, you can go ahead and try to pretend is that you're not.
She felt physically threatened. You're calling it bumped heads?
She felt
That's very
physically
typical.
intimidated, which, some people corrected me on it, and her testimony is apparently physically intimidated.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is, of course, still, to me, a feeling...
Not fun. Not a fun way to spend your day at work.
Intimidated means that she's worried that this guy might flip.
Ms. Shaw says, I don't know whether it's fair or not, but I accept your answer. And I guess my question is, respectfully, your perspective of these various incidents seems, and this gets cut off, and that is aggravating.
Yeah, damn it.
Okay, so almost 10 pages later, we pick up, this is in the middle of a question. Ms. Shaw says, to discuss or clear the air about, one of them was the incident with you and she in her trailer, right? When she was getting her body makeup removed and you mentioned that she had said something to you like, I asked you to look away and I turned around and we made eye contact or something like that, right? Jamey Heath says, in the June 1st meeting? She says, okay. Jamey Heath says, is that what you mean? She says, sure, at any point in time. Jamey Heath says, okay, I didn't know if you talked about, she says, fair. And he says, other things.
God.
Question. I guess my question is...
It's so funny because I always say, like, hey, if you want to learn how to write great dialogue, just, like, follow conversations. And, like, this is an example that just completely blows that up in my own face.
Because there's too much crosstalk.
And it's just terrible dialogue. Like, this guy can't converse. No. I mean, if you wanted to learn how to write a broken dialogue...
What I think is amazing is that this
can be valuable.
This is Justin Baldoni's mentor. This is his, like, closest confidant. This is the guy that he goes to for all of his advice about life and to bounce all his ideas off of. And the guy is inarticulate.
Inarticulate.
He doesn't even know how to answer simple questions. I don't know. No. Maybe it's a whole act for the depositions, but it's like, I would not have a lot of confidence in this person.
No. Me either.
Ms. Shaw says, I guess my question is, you understood, though, from your discussions with her that the issue about you entering her trailer was because she was nude from the waist up, right? He says, no. Ms. Shaw says, you didn't think she asked you to turn around because she was nude from the waist up? And he says, I did not think that.
It was because she just didn't want him to look him in the eyes like movie stars do.
Yeah. Miss Shaw
Don't you
says,
look me in the eye.
does she typically ask you to turn around when she's having a conversation with you when she has her clothes on? And he says, fair.
What does that mean, fair? That's not an answer.
She says, okay. She's just going to let him bury himself, right?
Yeah.
He continues, I didn't see her, what she was wearing or not wearing. I saw that she was leaning back, and it looked like she was either feeding or maybe nursing or pumping. That's what it appeared she was doing. When she asked me to look away, I thought it was in that regard. Ms. Shaw says, I understand. He continues, so I never saw it, so I didn't question that. So I moved over and looked away based on that.
That's so weird because like that is so offensive, dude, that you're invading somebody's privacy to the extent that you can describe potential scenarios that they didn't want you to see.
She says, okay, but even nursing or pumping involves activity with a woman's breasts, right? He says, sure.
Good
She
times.
says, and you understood that it was in that context that she was asking you not to look, right? And he said, fair. She asked me to look away. So whatever she was doing, she didn't want me to. And Miss Shaw goes, right. He says, sure. Question. And what she was doing was something that had to do with her breasts being exposed or involved. He goes, okay. She goes, okay. The video that you mentioned that you showed her of your wife was one of the things that she raised for discussion with you, right? And he says, correct. I love that she just dropped the subject, though. She was like, I got from you what I need for this trial.
That's a cracked egg right there.
Yeah. Okay. The video that you mentioned that you showed her of your wife was one of the things that she raised for discussion with you, right? He says, correct. Okay. However you want to characterize that video, Ms. Shaw says, that is a video. I don't mean that in any way other than I'm trying to not to say birthing video, because I understand there's been some discrepancy around what exactly is in the video. He says, okay. Ms. Shaw says that is a video of some portion of your wife in an intimate scene with you during the process of birthing your child, right? He said, the word intimate throws me when you say that. What a fucking goon. What does he mean, the word intimate throws? It is an intimate situation.
How could you not? You were in a tub naked with your wife.
Does he only think it involves like penetration as intimate? What the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, it's kind of like...
he just doesn't know
it was
what
like, who was it?
is?
Who was it who didn't know incredible?
Yes. I find her incredible. And he was like, well, I wouldn't use that word.
Wouldn't you?
She's like, not credible. We're attorneys. We use words that mean what they say.
Do you know what compatible means? Do you know what incompatible means?
Okay, this portion got cut off, so I have to reorient where I am in this documents. Pardon me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And we're back.
Chat's back by the way.
Oh, sweet.
People aren't talking because
we're boring.
Probably because we're boring. But chat's back.
Okay, this question is cut in the middle of the question, so I don't know what the context of this is, but what I can read is whether the conversations referenced only incidents that happened within some 10-day or short period of time. He goes, okay. She continues, do you think that the fact that kept being brought up over and over and over, at least on June 1st in the November 17-point letter and in the January 2024 meeting, was an indication that perhaps, at least from Blake's perspective, whatever had happened before was not in fact resolved? I'm so sorry. This is so hilarious. Because they kept saying like there was no conflict. We didn't have to investigate. There was no HR concerns because it had all been resolved. And she was like repeatedly brought up these same concerns. June 1st, November 17-point letter, January 2024 meeting. She's like, it's a repeated problem. Maybe that should have clued you into the fact that it was not, in fact, resolved.
It's amazing that does he stutter? What does he do?
He says, again, I think there wasn't multiple ones. June 1st was the first conversation. There was the first conversation with Blake, right? Some thoughts had been shared. We had a conversation on June 1st. No other conversation about it. It's really amazing writing. You're referencing the November 9th letter as if that's a conversation, but it was clear. I'm not trying to hide away from the language. In lieu of an HR complaint, we know that there's a lot of things that happened on set. That involved a lot. There was a lot. We had a lot of strikes. We had COVID. We had issues, production. That had nothing to do with you and me bumping heads. But to say it and characterize that as it's coming up again, it was like, here's the protections that I need to make sure that I feel safe, as she put it, moving forward. It wasn't bringing back up the June 1st stuff, the conversation. It was like, here's what I need moving forward. Here's some guidelines. We'd give this to anybody, but it wasn't a conversation about it. We did not think it was kept being brought up and brought up. This is contracts happen all the time of what they need to go on set. Here was one.
Wow.
The January 4th is what I would consider the second conversation, no matter how you want to frame the other. And that meeting with the Sony representative, the new Sony producer, myself, Justin, Alex Sachs, our other producer, no one felt that this was a nod to then, what do you do next? A nod to then, what do you do next? She wanted to express it. She said, just want to clear the air after we talked about it. And we talked about production. See you guys tomorrow. There was no indication that we were supposed to take another step. We thought the step was done. We talked about it. She got it off her, even though we disagreed. I still contend to this day that most of what she is saying, either all of it, either it's twisted or fabricated. She says, I talked about my genitals. I still haven't heard anybody ask me. She said I had a porn addiction in her complaint. No one has asked me where that came from as it pertains to me, but we talked about it. And our belief, I don't know if lawyers like it if I say this or not, whether we were right or wrong. Our belief at the time was that it was handled, it was discussed, and then we moved on. I'm sorry. Ms. Shaw says, don't be sorry. He says, can we take a break? She says, yes, absolutely. Why don't we take lunch?
So you had a little meltdown, huh?
I guess he had a little fucking meltdown.
We took care of it. We settled the problem. Like, listen, dude, you didn't.
You didn't.
You didn't.
It obviously festered.
Here we fucking
and
are.
that is your failure, and that's why you made your fucking business vulnerable to civil litigation, and that's why you're here.
Did you spend any time at all with Blake Lively, personally, dealing with this issue and all the issues? No, you didn't.
No, or like use the people that you hired to handle the problem, like they're fucking HR people.
You're the person who like keeps put the dishes in the fucking fridge, then there's no dirty dishes, you know?
Yeah, you're like, oh, no more problem.
Hey, look, kitchen looks great. Open up the fridge, it's filled with dirty dishes.
Okay, here we go. Back from lunch.
Serrata said they thought Ryan was bringing it up very strongly in the ambush, right?
Yeah.
The fucking ambush. Somebody brought this up today. I'm in lawsuits, and I'm currently in my response. But they were talking about like, you know, the fucking the so-called ambush by Ryan Reynolds and him screaming at Justin Baldoni, and I was like, what would you have said about him if he just sat there and did nothing? You'd have called him something else, wouldn't you have? The truth is that most partners, men and women would want their partner to stand up, to believe them when they make claims about people harassing them or causing them trouble. They would want their partner to believe in them, and then they would want their partner to defend them or to stand by them in this situation. It just blows my mind.
I'm just going to venture to guess that a guy who's been performing for so many decades at such a high level in Hollywood knows a thing or two about how meetings like this and conflicts like this are supposed to be conducted. Right. I feel like I don't know that he brought a whole bunch of people, witnesses from Sony Studios, from fucking the production, from all of these other people, and then decided to fucking lose his mind.
Yeah.
Like, no, I think that he had a very good handle about how he was trying to conduct himself. And I think that if Justin Baldoni didn't like how he was being treated, he also had the backup of all of these people that were in the room with them. Yep. It's not like he got singled out and fucking bullied by somebody in private, like you did with fucking Tobey Maguire when he was trying to manipulate you.
Totally different.
You know, I just feel like the context of that meeting really matters. Like, there was a bunch of other fucking people, top professionals, who were like shocked at the language, but all of them understood that the scenario was really, really a really sticky situation. And what you have is an actor who doesn't feel fucking comfortable going to your workplace. So it's the production's responsibility to address that and make it better, you know?
And that an actor being dramatic is a topic is hilarious to me. Like actors are innately fucking dramatic.
Yeah, that's why you hire them.
They're fucking, they're big personalities. They're big emotions. You know, not all of them, but it's not unusual what is unusual is a subdued actor. That is unusual. They're passionate. They you know, come on. There is just such stupidity. But go ahead.
Okay, so they're back from lunch.
Yeah.
Ms. Shaw says,
how was it?
Oh, I don't know.
Tacos? I bet you they had tacos.
They're probably still smacking, picking it out of their teeth. Ms. Shaw
Like
says,
talking with flossing. Ah.
before lunch, we were discussing your decision to bring on Tag and Melissa Nathan to handle crisis communications. You had mentioned that at some point Jen had recommended to you that you should consider bringing on crisis communications professionals. Is that right? He said, correct. What do you recall about that conversation? And this is interesting because this is really important to the Jones Works case, because Jen Abel's not supposed to be doing that without Stephanie Jones. What do you recall about that conversation? And Jamey Heath says, I recall her saying that she doesn't do crisis PR, and this might be a conversation. This might be a conversation with a crisis PR firm. Question, do you recall when that conversation occurred? He said, I don't. Do you think it was like within several days of when you first talked to Melissa Nathan? He said, I don't know if it was in several days, but it wasn't weeks. Okay, did she recommend Melissa Nathan to you as a potential person that you could hire for crisis comms? He said, I believe it was her, yes. Okay, meaning it was Jen? He said, I believe so. Did she give you any other names of any other people or firms other than Melissa Nathan that you should consider for crisis communications? He says, I don't remember. She may have, I don't remember. Okay, you can't think of any as you sit here today? He said, I can't. Did you personally speak with Melissa Nathan or anyone from TAG before you decided to hire them? He said, I did. Did you personally speak with or interview any other crisis communications professionals? He says, I did not. Did anyone at Wayfair ever speak with or interview any other crisis communications professionals other than Melissa Nathan? He said, not that I'm aware of. Okay, did you also ask, or did anyone at Wayfair ask Stephanie Jones for recommendations for crisis communications professionals? He said, I believe we did. She says, okay. He continues, or I didn't know if we asked or if they were just shared, but I do know that we got some recommendations from Stephanie Jones. I don't recall how that happened. The attorney says, okay, and Melissa Nathan was not on Stephanie Jones's list of recommendations to you for crisis communications, right? He said she was not.
Who, Stephanie Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were aware that Stephanie Jones expressly warned you that you should not hire Melissa Nathan for this role, correct? He said, I was aware. And what was your understanding of the reasons that Stephanie thought that you should not hire Melissa Nathan in this role? He said, to start with, I had a phone conversation with Stephanie also because I believe she called me about it. And there was some either text or email or something suggesting it. I don't know what happened when. At some point, yes, she had said that she didn't think she was the right fit because she thought she was shady.
Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
That's her client.
Yeah. Question, what did you understand Stephanie to mean when she said she thought Melissa Nathan was shady? He said, I didn't know exactly, but she went on to tell me, I believe, on a phone call, and she was very passionate, as Stephanie wonderfully can be, about her feelings for her. Question, and what did Stephanie tell you on that phone call about the reasons that she thought Melissa Nathan was shady? He said, I don't think on that phone call that I recall anything specific of what she said. It's one of the many phone calls that you have with people, so I don't remember exactly. But the sentiment was that she didn't like her. I remember knowing that they had some history. She was pretty adamant about it, where by the end of the call, I had deduced that they had personal history.
If this guy ever writes a memoir, absolutely nobody can believe a word of it. He can't remember shit.
He said this gets cut off, but he continues, says some of it was based on fact. Maybe some of it was based on personal differences.
Maybe. So you're guessing.
Yeah, this is many pages later, so this I'm sure is a different topic.
So interesting, that people just are so foolish.
So foolish.
Like, this is such a big deal, and you're like, you think it's because she has personal issues.
She has the biggest clients. Stephanie Jones was repping Tom Brady. She was repping major corporations. And these fucking guys thought that she didn't have good advice. Like, I just can't believe.
Well, at least
idiocy,
especially at this level. Like, okay, like maybe she was dropping the ball here and there or wherever, but when she's talking about the reputational, like, publicists are well aware that most, well-funded entities have multiple firms involved.
Yeah, you know what she should have.
That's not a competition issue.
She was warning them well enough, but what may have helped, or at least, I don't know if anything would have helped because these guys are dumb, but she should have been like, she's going to get you into a lawsuit, bro. She's going to get you into fucking litigation. And that's what happened. Melissa Nathan got them into litigation.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, this is like an important distinction because some people might think that she's trying, or, and even Jamey Heath in his inexperience might think that she's trying to, snuff out some competition. And that's just not the case. They already know, and they're quite accustomed to working with multiple PR firms in multiple capacities on a single client, and that they might specialize on
Yeah.
the film division, and they might specialize in, fucking whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Product.
Okay, this is a single page that they give us, so maybe there's something juicy here. The question, Ms. Shaw asks, do you recall at some point in time also bringing on Jed Wallace and street relations onto the Wayfarer team? He says, yeah. Whose suggestion was that? He said, I believe it would have been Melissa's. Did you ever discuss that with Stephanie Jones? He says, no. Okay, did you ever discuss that with Jen Abel? He said, I'm sure. Do you recall a point in time, we discussed it a little bit earlier in part, when there were some issues around like whether and who had reached out to the Daily Mail? He's asking, we don't get to see the rest of this. He says, say that one more time. You probably said it perfectly fine, but I didn't follow. She says, that's all right. There was a Daily Mail article published. I don't get to see the rest of this. That's a bummer. Okay, this is many pages later. The attorney is reading a text from you, Jamey Heath, at 11:23 a.m. that says, and she's reading this quote, hold on, guys, please. No one call Daily Mail right now. Melissa is in the middle of it. What do you mean by Melissa is in the middle of it?
This guy's fucking sleeves are. He pretends that he's sitting around going, hey, man, I'm just a guy at 30,000 feet looking down.
Yeah, no, he's in it.
No, this guy's in it, dude.
Yeah.
He's in the trenches. He's got his fucking shit rolled up. He's
Absolutely.
ready to go.
I know. What did you mean by Melissa is in the middle of it?
And so the fuck was fucking Justin Baldoni with his Hailey Bieber and every other text we saw flying from his phone to others through the air magically.
On a red carpet.
Maybe through people too. It's moving through us.
What did you mean by Melissa is in the middle of it? Jamey Heath says, it looked like she was fielding. We brought in, at this point, Crisis to navigate through this, and she was discussing it, and I didn't want multiple people calling. Stephanie, as I had mentioned, was not in the daily loop in conversations, so what she might know the marching orders are and the intricacies of it, she's not involved, or I didn't know how much she knows. So I've asked Melissa to take care of it. Please, it's okay, she's taking care of it. Question. Okay, so at this point in time, you were having Melissa Nathan handle any inquiries from the Daily Mail and otherwise manage the press around this, and you did not want Stephanie Jones to do it. Is that fair? He said, I didn't want anyone doing it that wasn't in our inner circle talking about it all the time, because there were daily, hourly, possibly whatever, decisions and conversations of navigating it. And unless you were in that loop every day, I didn't want anyone doing something. Question. I understand that, but Stephanie Jones, in your mind, was not in that loop, and so you did not want her interfering with the Daily Mail on this. Is that correct? He said, correct. I did not want her to. Okay. And that was at least in part because Melissa Nathan was already doing it, and you wanted Melissa Nathan as the crisis person to be doing that, right? He says, I don't know if I can say that. I think there was a team of people that are meeting. We've consulted. That's how I wanted to handle it. Now, whether it was Melissa or whether it was another person at TAG, or maybe it would have been Jen, I don't know necessarily. Again, this wasn't my world, but I just knew it was all people that were hearing from me, and Stephanie was not one. Okay, so who were the people that were hearing from you on this that were in the circle? This gets cut off. Okay, so this is almost 10 pages later.
That's a lot of pages later.
Next question. Do you have any basis to tell me, as you sit here today, that Stephanie Jones didn't follow your instructions for her to stand down after you told her to do that? He said, I don't know. I can't recall anything.
Ever.
He stutters. I don't know. I can't recall anything. Okay. And after the point in time that you told Stephanie that she was not to contact any reporters on behalf of Wayfarer or Justin, did you have any substantive or strategy or other conversations or communications with Stephanie about Wayfarer's publicity after that? He said, after I asked her to stand down, Ms. Shaw goes, uh-huh. He said, did I have any subsequent conversations with her? She says, yes. Jamey Heath says, about the positioning of Jones Works with Wayfarer? And Ms. Shaw says, about Wayfarer's publicity plans. He said, right. Not immediately after, I don't. When I say immediately, I don't mean within days, because we were dealing with the current flames, but that is something that became apparent to me, that there seemed to be no discussion on that at some point. Once I had learned, you mean during this time or at any time? He's asking the attorney. The attorney says, what I'm essentially asking is, After you told her to stand down, did you later, like, loop her back in the team and get her involved or no? He said, as I said, she's never been involved. The attorney says, okay. He says, as far as I'm concerned. She says, okay, so you didn't invite her into the team after that? He says, she was never a part of it. Ms. Shaw says, okay. He says, no offense to Stephanie. She goes, understood. And this is the last section I have here.
Of the whole deposition?
No, it can't be. Did I fuck up? Hang on a second.
There's no way that that's entire day of testimony unless it only lasted a couple of hours. That's possible.
It's not the entire day because I've got so much that's omitted. Hang on a second. Let me just orient myself to the next one. Sorry, guys.
Let me see if there's anything going on in the chat.
All right, I'm there.
Never mind.
Question.
Quiet.
Now, there came a time in late August of 2024 where Wayfair provided notice to Jonesworks that it was terminating Jonesworks. Is that right?
Yeah.
He says, late August? She says, uh-huh. Jamey Heath says, I probably need to see an email or something so I can confirm the date. But for the moment, I can take your word for it. She says, sure. Even apart from the date, you recall that there came a point in time when Wayfair terminated Jonesworks, right? He said, yes. Okay, and who made that decision? He says, ultimately? She says, uh-huh. He said, me.
I am the power.
Okay, and why did you make that decision? He said, I mean, I think I expressed it before, so I will just give you the short version. She says, please. Jamey Heath says,
I'm the big muff.
I had come to the conclusion that I had lost faith. I don't like saying I had lost faith in what I believed. I don't like saying, he cuts himself off, I had lost faith in what I believed Stephanie could provide, and Jonesworks felt like, thank you so much. A place, I guess somebody handed him a tissue or something.
He was crying over it. He's really shaken.
I had lost faith in what I believed Stephanie Jones could provide, and Jonesworks felt like a place that we've been for some years, and, you know, changes happen. And also our point person, who I trusted with my kids, going back to the babysitter analogy, I just trusted her. And here she's going somewhere else. And this happens all the time with agencies and managers. You know, you have a relationship with Miss Shaw, not the law firm you're at. He said, thank you again. Miss Shapiro says, do you want a break? He says, yes, I think the reporter would like a... Miss Shaw says, yes, I think the reporter would like a break. Why don't we go off record?
Or they're sneezing or something.
I don't fucking know.
Fucking hacking up loogies. Hanada's like, he's basically exempting Stephanie from this whole smear campaign, and he doesn't see it. That's exactly the lawyer's sole objective.
Yes.
Well, he's being sued by her, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know that it's their sole objective, but it is,
No, but he's strengthening her claims against Jen Abel.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think he is. I really do.
We don't get to see the answer, but he was asked, you're aware that Wayfair filed counterclaims against Jonesworks and Miss Jones in this case, correct?
What? When?
That is the end. That's all that I've got. I don't have any more for that day.
Wow.
So that was fast. I thought that was going to be all week.
Well, we're at 2 hours. Well, that's great.
Ta-da!
I thought you thought it was going to be another couple of days, and here we are, wrapped.
Oh, I did bring this today. Maybe I'll save it for tomorrow. The Dr. Doom story.
Yeah, save it for tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to do Danny Greenberg, right?
Okay, great.
And we should probably have another backup. So is there anybody, do you guys have anybody in mind that you would like to hear us read?
Backup.
Well, not backup, but like if we get through Danny in a minute, we have to keep Cosmic Urgency away.
No, we don't.
I love him, man. I
don't want to do that.
I never want him to go away. He's like family to me.
Well,
I don't want anybody to go. I haven't seen No Two Trolls in a while, and it breaks my heart. She's been watching on the replays. I think she's really busy right now. But I miss her.
But I'm gonna miss you.
Girl, I'm gonna miss you. And I wanted to see how her New Zealand accent translated in this chat problem. Did you get it? Isn't that weird what I just said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're talking like Jamey Heath all of a sudden.
Yeah, I back Friday, Monday, Dad. No. This is what it sounds like to me. It just sounds like he just like, he just doesn't.
Can you imagine being married to somebody like that?
No.
Who has that like lack of rationale and comprehension skills where you're just like, listen, I'm just trying to get you to understand. He's like, I'm not even going to look at it.
No, I mean, I prefer people who can sort of groove with the vibe, you know, like this guy, he breaks all the vibes. At least that's my impression. I can't believe he's like a guy who jams. Maybe he's a great musician.
That's probably why he's probably super, super excellent at communicating through music.
I've met,
and he just doesn't do words well.
Yeah. I've met a few musicians who were like professional musicians where you're like, wow, you can't communicate with your mouth.
No, like those child savants who like play piano.
Yeah, they're just ripping the keyboard.
Yeah, they're like Mozart.
Yeah.
At age 5,
Yeah.
and they don't speak.
Yeah, they're otherwise.
It's really amazing. Phil Pomling said, you've got to imagine that Ryan Reynolds was watching his wife walk through the door daily on her way to the worst set she's ever been on. And he cannot get it through to these morons why it is a problem.
Yeah.
I would have fucking shouted at their faces too.
For sure.
Especially if Justin Baldoni is like sitting there like a sad sack, like he's the fucking victim.
For sure.
You know,
and also because of like the whole broken dreams part of it, you know, it's like, you know, Blake Lively seems to be one of those people, and she's got privilege that comes like that kind of backs all this up. But she seems to be one of those people who are like, who become determined in the face of adversity. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like where adversity, you know, meets them, they're like, she doesn't, you know, curl up. I curl up a lot, you know, like, where's Dale? He's under the table. He's curled up.
When there's adversity.
So yeah, I mean, I think I'm pretty tired of it, you know, personally.
No, I know, but when you're working on a set, I think that you're really, really good at smoothing things over
easily.
I love one of my favorite quotes from you ever was like, you went over to 2 crew members who were bickering about something, and you were like, "Hey, cool it with the rhetoric." I just love that quote so much.
Yeah,
it's such a fucking great statement.
Well, because this one guy was talking shit about this other guy, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, so this. You know what's weird about what you just said, though? So Small Group was a weird movie. It was like a Christian movie that I did or whatever. I produced it.
It's a super weird time.
It was. But the guy that you just mentioned, he died. He died of a sudden heart attack. The guy who he was talking about took his own life.
God.
Isn't that weird? Those 2 people both passed away in that situation.
That is so weird.
Yeah. It just hit me when you said it. I was like,
well, I'm so sorry I brought it up. I didn't realize.
And the guy who passed away, the guy who took his own life, I like them both because they were crew and I love my crew. You know that. But but the guy who took his own life, I was close with. That was a rough one for me.
The guy that you were yelling at was the one that had a heart attack?
Yeah, he had a heart attack.
And he died?
And it was sudden, like he was like my age or something. And yeah, it was just, he died like, it was a sudden heart attack, like just boom. Dead. I guess.
Yeah. Well,
I guess heart attacks aren't like, you know, like forever or whatever. I guess they can last. I don't know.
I know. I think the statistics.
I don't want to know anything about them.
The statistics for surviving your first one are not great, but if you survive your first one, you usually do okay.
Yeah, if they get the stints in there.
Yeah.
In time.
That's wild, bro. I didn't know that. I wouldn't have brought it up if I'd known. I'm sorry. I put you on the spot.
You didn't break my heart again. It was a great moment. Actually, it was like a great moment. It was a good moment because in that moment there was this growing, sort of boiling, bad fucking vibe, you know?
Yeah, and you smoothed it over.
And I took care of it. It was over.
Yeah.
They actually ended up about 45 minutes, maybe an hour after that. I look over and I see them, and they don't know that I'm seeing them, or at least I don't think they do, because I'm not in an obvious, like I'm not like in obvious proximity to them, and I saw them hug it out.
So there was hugging on your set.
Well, they didn't hug it out,
kidding,
but they were like, you know, oh yeah, fuck you.
You
put
go over
a little
again.
bump
Hey,
in the thing.
cool it with the embracing.
Hey, did I just see you touch his butt? Because that's fucked up.
Cool it with the rhetoric, I always think is like, that always comes to mind whenever people are arguing or something and they just do not fucking need to be.
What was cool about it was that, you know, those were the words I used, cool it with the rhetoric. And then they did. I didn't get angry. I didn't like have to be a shit. It was just like, hey, cool it with the fucking rhetoric, you know? And they knew because, like, you know, when we start the movie, I'm all about like, guys, this is all about us being one thing. Mm-hmm. Together, we're one thing. And so we can't do anything but support each other. That's the only way to make this work. The only way to make this fly is if we're all one thing right now. And that's my message to everybody on set, you know? So we all become the paintbrush, you know?
You're a symbiotic organism.
Symbiotic organism sounds good to me. I'd have to look up symbiotic to be absolutely sure, but I think it probably has something to do with us joining forces and becoming a creative,
symbiotic organism.
symbiotic relationship. Anyway, well, thank you for reading Jamey Heath. Jamey Heath was the worst deposition that we've read so far.
It was the hardest to read.
Yeah,
and I'm
thank
so
you for
sorry if it sounded like I was doing a bad job. I was really trying to just read what the stenographer had recorded. And I don't know how much of it actually is just true or not. I don't know. But if it was recorded faithfully or like properly, he fucking speaks so strangely.
Of the stuff that they released, you did not read one thing that I thought helped them.
Not one thing, huh?
I cannot think of one thing that you read that I think she's got to deal with that.
It's really, really tough that they have a different version of the events in the trailer when she was nude, and she has 2 witnesses.
Yeah.
That's tough for them.
It is.
Because that's the first thing that I thought of, like when you said not one thing. Because they have a different version of those events than she does. But she's got 2 witnesses. So
She does. And
Yeah.
and
That's
so
bad.
3 people saying the same story, one person saying a different story. It's easy who to believe. Let me do some housekeeping before we go. If you got a couple others to read, you can do that as well. So just so you know, this week's astrology live stream the live stream itself will not be on YouTube this time. It will be on Patreon's page. So
last time you had really bad sound problems. Did you figure that out? Last time you tried to do that.
I think so. I mean,
And if not, then you'll just bounce it to YouTube.
yeah, right now, to participate in the astrology live on Sunday, you'll have to do that at Patreon. And if you don't have your notifications on, because I don't know if emails come or I don't know how it works, because I post and then you guys should be getting notified. If you're not getting notified, then you'll have to check your settings to make sure that your notifications are turned on for Patreon. And that's because that's the only way I have to communicate with you guys. So Monday at 2:00, the Patreon live the astrology live will be on Patreon. And then once that processes, I can just instantly post it.
You said Sunday?
Sunday at 2.
Yeah.
From
cool.
2 to 4. And then and then what that allows me to do is just instantly post it. It just takes a whole chunk of workflow out of it for me. Because then it just like immediately goes, shall I post this? And I'm like, please. And that's it. So it's sweet. All right, guys. And what else? You got anything else?
Happiness in Your Life said, also, we're seeing all of the conflicts between the Wayfarer parties and Blake Lively.
Yeah.
Okay. We're seeing it all in hindsight, but to Blake's face at the time, Happiness in Your Life is pointing out,
Yeah.
to Blake's face, they were either always agreeing and apologizing or being super dismissive. It's hard to make sense of that as it's happening.
Yeah.
And I said this too, like Justin Baldoni was two-faced the whole time. He was bitching about her behavior so much, but to her, he was like, oh, this is great. You're such a great collaborator. We're so happy to have you. And I'm just, really fortunate that you're taking so much more of the reins so that I can get some off my plate, whatever. I mixed metaphors there.
Mixing metaphors.
That's what I do.
It's like, that should be the name of your bar.
Yes. Oh my God, that's so brilliant.
Yeah. I had a thought there that slipped by because we got into the mixing metaphors. What was it you just said?
I'm putting that on my list. There's a person pointed this out on. They made some video on TikTok where they were talking about like the best question that you can ask somebody, not is like, what do you do for a living or where are you from?
Yeah.
But what lists do you keep?
Yeah.
Do you keep lists?
Do I keep lists? I have no, not really. So what does that say about me? I'm empty, huh?
No, it just means that you don't keep lists.
But it's you just said
Mixed Metaphors is the bar inside my bookstore. That's the name of the bookstore bar.
the
Mixed
bookstore bar,
Metaphors.
mixed metaphors.
Yes. I keep lists of band names, company names, and dog or cat names. Those are the lists I keep.
Oh, what I was going to say was to Happiness's point is that like if you're going through this and then you get the apologies and then I'm sorry and then you feel like, okay, let's move on. And then you see it happen again, maybe not to you, but to another person, or you hear about another complaint, or you hear about him smacking a chair so loud that somebody, the senior producer on the set,
Yeah.
is feeling physically intimidated
That,
by
according
that?
to Jamey Heath, he referred to that as butting heads.
As butting heads, literally, you fool. So it's like not quite, but it got physical.
Yep.
So I think it's just like it happens over and over again, and you start to like. So then those apologies get washed over, right? They get washed out. They get diluted by the continued action, right? My dad used to hit us, and then he would tell us afterward we loved him, and he would tell us afterward how much he loved us, and that he did it because he loved us. Well, guess what his love felt like after a little while, right? It didn't feel like love.
Yeah.
It felt like pain. So I think it's similar to that in terms of experience. It's like, if you continue to do the thing that you're apologizing for, no one can possibly not only believe in the apology
That's
itself, but no one can possibly feel safe or comfortable that nothing like that will happen again. Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, your apology is bullshit. We've all been apologized to and know that it was a superficial apology.
No, but I think that's why Jenny Slate went so nuclear in all of her messages about Baldoni, where she was like, he's a fraud, but the way that he conducts himself makes him dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. And this is why I think the intervention occurred here by Blake Lively, where she was like, well, that's not true. I think Blake Lively was fine with doing the damage she did. And by that, I mean that she made sure that people knew about her experience within the business. And that's about all she can do. And the truth is, and I've said this over and over again, I'll say it again, because it's worth repeating, because this is the world's biggest fumble. This happens all the time in Hollywood. Actors feud with actors all the time. Directors feud with producers all the fucking time. Hollywood is not a kumbaya fucking neighborhood. It's a competitive place where people are constantly embattled with either each other or with outside forces like studios and money or whatever.
Yeah, that's why Ryan Reynolds felt comfortable shouting at Justin Baldoni in front of the Sony producers, because they fucking know.
Because nobody cares. Nobody cares in the end. In the end, they'll be like, yeah, they're feuding. That's what it'll be like.
Yeah.
And then, and Justin's got a billionaire, and a billionaire is loud in my house. Mm-hmm. So what's so interesting about all that is that, so you have this sort of normal climate, people feuding in Hollywood is not fucking new at all. I think fucking Chalamet's having a public feud with another actor right now, as a matter of fact, somebody who talks shit about him. So it just happens all the time. It's just nothing new.
No, it never ends.
But what would have happened had they not retaliated? And this is where the problem really happened for them. And that, of course, is on Melissa Nathan's, that's all on Melissa Nathan. But it was the retaliation. If the retaliation hadn't occurred, then everybody in Hollywood... See, what publicists know is that Justin Baldoni would not have been hurt publicly by any of this shit that he was so worried about leading up to and after the fucking premiere.
That's why it is so horrible that Melissa Nathan exploited him so much.
Correct.
Because she made him think that there were real bad consequences.
And there wasn't.
That there was a fucking storm coming. And I think Stephanie Jones would have been like, it'll fucking blow over. You're fine. Don't do anything fucking hasty. Just act cool and you'll be the better man.
Blake Lively escaped getting married in a plantation. I mean, she ultimately escaped that.
Until this happened.
It hurt her.
Yeah.
She went through the fucking crashing waves, but the water's
really
calmed. The water's calmed and her boat left the harbor. Yeah. So like in that scenario, if they didn't retaliate, if they didn't discover these texts from Jen Abel, if that had never happened, all that would have, the end result of this would have been that there would have been this feud that they talk about in Hollywood between two people, and Justin Baldoni would have continued to work. Blake Lively would have continued to work. They would never have worked with each other. They might have blocked certain people to work with each other. All this fucking nonsense, fucking petty bullshit. That's what this would have been. But their careers would have been intact and everything would have been fine. Instead, they fucking got paranoid because, again, and I'm going over this with another group right now, but again, these fucking people didn't know what they were doing, bro. They just didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know what they were in. Justin Baldoni was playing a different side of the game for 20 years. It wasn't this side. And when he got into this side, this level of the game, he got in over his head. And all he had to do was take a breath. All he had to do was take a breath and realize that the water is actually not up to his fucking nose. It's up to his neck. Now he's drowning. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm sorry the chat was a mess. I'm so sorry that, Yeah, it wasn't like your typical. Like
I'm glad it wasn't you. It was the whole YouTube.
Lots of people bailed, and I get it. Why hang around when our chat's not intact? I mean, our community is 90% of our show. So, sorry about all that. Hopefully, YouTube has it all sorted out. But if they're doing something to block the bots, who's going to complain about that? Not me. Unless it's the bots that are trying to help me. Helpful bots. I'll take those. Can they fix my teeth? All right, you guys. You're wonderful. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to do this again.
Yep.
If you like Survivor and you love Survivor, don't show up here with spoilers. Do not.
Yeah, because we got to wait till tomorrow.
We watch it tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.
Farewell.